Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Ashes Wednesday. We're so happy to have you. If you missed it last week on Throwback Thursday, we threw back to Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn, and we did a little bit of a juke. We announced the PDP model for releasing the game, partnering with Plaid Hat Games, where effectively you, people watching or wanting to play this game, can sign up for a subscription to Ashes Reborn. And if enough people are signed up, it'll go into print, it'll keep getting printed, and to our mind-bending surprise, 3 short days later, not even actually 3 full days later.
It was truly a surprise. It was a tremendous surprise.
We crossed the minimum threshold of 1,000 people signed up, so gears are firing over at Plaid Hat, and this thing is going to be getting underway as soon as we can. We did an FAQ that we linked to on social for a lot of the questions that people are asking, but we're obviously happy to chat here.
There is, it's worth noting, we originally had been talking in Ashes 1.5 language, but that's all been cleaned up. It's just referred to as Ashes Reborn moving forward. So if you see that change in language across our stuff and Plaid Hat stuff, that is on purpose, and that is why. Technically, Ashes Reborn is bringing in the 1.5 rule set, but there's a lot more to Ashes Reborn, so we wanted to kind of capture that in a singular phrase. So Ashes Reborn is basically everything happening, upgrade pack, and beyond. And it'll launch the new game, which is most of the old products, all the old cards still compatible and still usable, but some of them, about 30%, are changed and put in that upgrade pack, and then moving forward, it's just Ashes, and we just get to play it and have a good time with it. We literally thought this would take maybe in the months, and it took 3 days.
Well, we literally thought it might be months and or never.
That's right.
Right? It was like, you don't know. We're doing, so player-driven development is what PDP is short for.
I was a little bit more pessimistic.
And this is a game that came out in 2015 that we thought was really great, and it looks beautiful, and it's, 5 years old at this point. A lot of games have tried to come back. A new model, old game, trying to kind of come back, revitalize itself, so you just never know in that kind of situation. But it was a game that we thought deserved a second shot, and I'm so happy. It's amazing. Everyone out there watching who has already signed up, to see so many people so excited, and I get it, right? Like, I've had so many.
It gets me more excited than I even was, really.
I literally, I've had so many games that I've loved and been super into that came and went away, and then they were gone.
The vast majority.
In fact, most, if not all, have actually ultimately met that fate. And the recognition, we did a pretty long discussion about this on last week's episode of the Covenant Cast, if you want to hear more about that model and diving in and whatnot. But essentially, a lot of times these games, especially these non-collectible, expandable games like Ashes, struggle with the 3-tier model, with making sense for retailers, especially compared to collectible games. So it's just a struggle.
Cooperatives are hard too, right? Because you generally just don't need that environment as much for a cooperative game to succeed. But yeah, check out that podcast. That was I really liked the conversation that we had afterwards. It felt like there was kind of like, oh yeah, like, that's what I've been wanting to say for a while, but the Ashes situation allowed us to actually kind of use this as a framing mechanism for that discussion. I think it's really important, and it's something that the industry as a whole probably needs to reflect on a little bit, right? It's like, what do we do with non-collectible, expandable games? Because they kind of haven't quite fit in the right pocket, and this is one way that we can do it. So you guys showed up. I mean, everybody out there watching, everybody who's a subscriber, you guys did it. You made it happen so early. So we're going to toast to you.
We are definitely going to. I'm going to be unboxing this champagne live.
It's easy
it's a lot of ways this could go wrong.
It's easy to stay on the grind, and just to keep moving on to the next thing in our own lives, personal lives, It's just like there's always something next to do, something better to improve, something that needs to get finished. But let's take a second and just reflect on the fact that we did it.
And honestly, everyone out there who signed up, that you're responsible, right? There's no way this game gets to keep existing if you don't step up to the plate. I saw a lot of people talking about it, sharing it, asking questions, being super helpful. The community for this game already being just great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So it's worth toasting. So we're gonna do it.
If you got anything, you got any wine, you got any water, you got any juice, you got
now
any
is the time.
champs, you got a shot of bourbon.
You've been saving some wine for a special time. You've been serving, like a certain beer.
We already cracked a rhino, so I know that that many people have already toasted to that.
I know. I remember
Marvel
Pete.
Champions.
Pete, particularly on chat, was several times like, I have my celebratory alcohol ready when we were playing against Rhino, and then we finally did it.
Yeah. Now we get to do this thing that always makes me nervous, which is opening champagne. Now, normally it's fine. Sometimes, you get a wild cork. So, if we bring the setup down, that would be truly a live stream to be remembered. or perhaps it will be totally normal.
It's like yesterday we were playing.
Don't spill it on the Ashes cards, please.
Well, most of these are sealed. It's these tokens I'm mostly worried about. But yesterday we were playing Flesh and Blood, and one of the things we've been doing with that, because it's a collectible game, is after we play, we did deck building, then we played a couple games, read 3 or 4 jamming out games, and then we open some packs at the end, kind of like we do when we were playing a collectible game back as kids. You play in a tournament and then win a couple packs or buy a couple packs. And yesterday I cracked a super rare legendary card that I was excited to see. And this is the benefit of doing it live. That's fantastic. That's so good. We're back.
I said it.
We're back.
I said it. Oh my gosh.
I've never seen that happen in my life. That's so good. Yes, I'm pouring it while I'm soaked in champagne. That's so funny. That's the best. I couldn't have planned that better. It just exploded. That's fantastic. I'm curious to see our faces when that actually happens. But
absolute terror.
What I was going to say literally is like doing things like this live is always interesting because I could go back and watch myself open a super rare card and react to it.
That's right.
So like last night I was talking to my wife about it and I was showing her and she was like had a lot of questions because she doesn't understand how any of this works.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. And that's hilarious. That's crazy. Have you ever seen a champagne bottle do that? Yes. Guess I shouldn't have peeled it until I was really ready. Don't mind me.
Man, there's going to be a freeze frame from that.
That's so good.
Us just being like...
Well, hey, that's about the same way we felt when we announced this, and then within 3 days, there were enough people signed up. Like, it was that kind of shock. Just like, holy, what's awesome. Happening? You want to hand me your glass? I'm just going to go ahead and get this while I'm going to have to go wash my hands.
You got that to proper cellar temperatures, did you not?
I did.
That's really exciting. The tokens are unscathed. The decks are unscathed. The Arena Rex mat, I feel like, honestly, an Arena is probably more champagne than anything, so I think that's an acceptable loss. Throw this under here. We need one of them gaming tables.
There must be sacrifices.
You ever seen those? Do you get into those gaming tables? Have we talked about this?
I've never, in quotes, been into them, but I've seen all of them. There was one recently on Kickstarter that I was...
They're always like $7 million, I think.
The ones that were recently Kickstarted weren't. They were more practical.
I'm not looking for practical if I'm buying a gaming
table. That looks
table.
Great. Look at that.
It's beautiful. All right, cheers on, man. Well, that was couldn't have gone more hilarious.
Alex says, I just went back and watched. Both viewer reactions were duck and cover.
I didn't know we had live rounds in here.
And I had to deal with it. So you got something to put this
I got this, yeah.
On?
This isn't my first champagne-fueled
Chris Mitchell, you've christened that mat like a new ship.
That's right. Well, cheers.
Cheers indeed. Cheers to you
out there. To
cheers
Ashes,
to you. Cheers to the team at home, popping up
Plaid
cards
Hat Games,
and everyone working hard.
Let's go.
Seriously, Plaid Hat, Colby.
We got like
Nick,
12. There's
Isaac.
like 1250 right now, guys. I mean, it's like crazy. It's exploding.
And let me tell you, like that champagne model. And let me tell you, one of the things that I'm really excited about is,
well, that's pleasant.
Essentially, both for us and Plaid Hat, the more people that hop on and sign up for the subscriptions, the more we're going to be able to do, from content to all sorts of other things that have been talked about.
Organized play.
If you're on the fence, hop in. This game's going to be awesome, and we're going to be getting underway with Ashes Reborn in the not-so-distant future. So what we're doing today, though, besides champagne unboxing, as we've seen, is we're going to be going through, right, the next couple of weeks, probably on stream. I stopped paying attention to that Gen Con that they made way too few of whatever the releases were.
Yeah.
At that Gen Con, and Destiny got announced.
That may have had something to do with it.
May have had a little bit of an impact. And all the expansions since then didn't really even get a chance to play or look at or really know what's happening. So we have a ton of those here. We're going to be pairing them off and playing and exploring the game. So if you're new, this is a great way to kind of pick up the game through osmosis, so to speak. If you have questions, feel free to ask.
I've got a couple here that I would like to. So Ben Sweeney here saying, I found 6 people to play with when we can gather again and form a play group. I love hearing that kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Gruenhertz here on Twitch with a very common question. What are Plaid Hat's plans for international distribution? Is this exclusively limited to your subscribers? So It's easy. The best way to do it is to think about the subscription as kind of the, somebody said this in the Facebook group, as like the spine of the Reborn effort. So it's kind of the ultimate indicator of the health of the game and whether it gets produced or not and those kinds of things. But assuming that that is all in a very healthy spot, we were talking to Colby and Plaid Hat the other day, and they're very much pursuing international distribution outside of North America. So if these products can get printed, and there's sufficient interest that the volumes can be high enough to have plenty left over for distribution elsewhere, be checking that out. Now, if you're in the States, particularly and Canada, the subscription is your best option for sure. Read the only option mainly. Now, we expect those products will probably be available elsewhere, at least on Plaid Hat's website, after the subscriptions have fired to some time afterwards. We're not exactly sure. But
Part of that, though, is that like one of the reasons this works is that Plaid Hat gets information about how much of this is desired. And so as far as I know, right, if there's a demand way beyond what gets printed, then obviously reprints and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, subscriptions are going to speak a lot to how big the print run is. So if you want to make sure that there's product for you to get, the only way to do that is through subscriptions, and then what Plaid Hat does with it after it's released through subscriptions is up to them. But ultimately, the recognition is it's possible, like, if you're expecting to kind of just wait, and maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't, that's totally fine. You'll still be able to play. If you buy the old stuff that's available now, that's all. The rules will be available, I assume, the Reborn rules. But the only way to know that you're going to get stuff through a subscription. So that's super helpful to us and to specifically Plaid Hat when it comes to determining the print run, which, as we talk about on the podcast all the time, for these kind of games is usually 2 to 4 months before you actually get the product. And in the FAQ, we talk about, after we hit our goal, it's going to be 3 to 5 months after that when the first thing's going to actually hit. So we've hit the goal, and now a big part of that is like basically wanting to give it time so that anyone that is thinking about getting in, a lot of new people have never heard of it, wanting to see more gameplay before they make a choice, or they're wanting to get in the 1.0 stuff from Plaid Hat before they make a decision to sign up. And so essentially, we're wanting to give it a certain amount of time to allow people to get in before a print run is created, and then supply is somewhat capped. So the sooner you sign up, it's super helpful for us, and it just ensures there's enough supply to go around for everyone interested in the game. And then, of course, the more people that are signed up, the more we and Plaid Hat are going to be able to do to support the game. So we're super pumped about it. Yep, that's smart. Let's just replace it.
New mat. And I saw Alan Jones or Todd Ramsey here saying, guess I need my mic. Just confirm, buy the OG stuff, then the subscription. Yeah, so if you check out the FAQ on our website, the best way to start if you're brand new is just getting a starter set from Plaid Hat Games and then hopping on that subscription. And then if you want to start still small but fully, it's basically get the starter set, get the 2 deluxe expansions, which introduce those 2 new time dice. That's like Law of Lions and Song of Soaksend. And if you have those 2 expansions, then you have all of the dice that you need for all future Phoenixborn and past Phoenixborn. So that's a good way to do it as well.
Just going to deal with this.
And then Alan Jones, we had differing opinions on how to handle organized play. That's a really good question. As far as how best to do organized play, I don't know. I think it will be event-based. We've been talking about doing some big events, kind of spreading them out across various areas so that we make sure that we can serve all of the different player groups wherever it is that they are. So that's a good way to do it. I think just having 3 to 4 big events every year is a pretty good start. Getting the general Ashes community together to hang out with each other is really, for me, what I think the best kind of organized play solution is. And then second to that is maybe having some promo kits that can be sent out, which would be great too. Now, whether or not those are bought by stores or bought by players or whatever it is, that's something to be decided, but it is possible. It's a time of possibility, really.
Well, I think the interesting thing for me, and we'll explore this more probably on the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. Those old X-Wing mats.
Man, these X-Wing mats are nice. I've got all this.
But, it is a player-driven production. So I would like to see, I think the big thing for these kind of communities is the ability to have big events that are central for people to go to. So that's, like Ashes Weekend was one of those kind of events. Or just those big events. But then second to that, right, it's I would love to see a game where even the organized play is in the hands of the players, because that's ultimately who's going to make it happen, right? Like, I think that's the case with most of these games in most of these cases.
It's all of you and us to some degree. Store owners that can really do something special. It'd be nice to have them involved. You know, like have some Ashes players. 70, 80, 90, 100. Have a good time.
I'm just grabbing all this stuff. Hold on.
And now...
That was hilarious.
Yeah, we've kind of...
I won't forget it.
We've officially... that was one of the more notable things that's probably ever happened on our stream, for
on
sure.
stream? Woo.
Maybe on video.
I'm soaked.
Yeah. You better be careful driving home. You better roll your windows up.
Cops be like,
son, you been celebrating?
You been drinking, boy? Sure have.
Let's play some Ashes. What do you think?
Let's do it. So you want to start with Ren and Brennan, the first expansions from Ashes weekend, nonetheless. You got Ren?
I got Ren somewhere. Yeah, ice. Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
You want Ren or you want Bren?
Come on.
Yeah, you're giving me the fire cat.
Come on. We all know what's happening here. So, man, look at how weird. Check this out. So I'm going to zoom this in, everybody. Does this feel weird that the mountains are upside down to you? It feels kind of weird to me.
Oh, man, that is bizarre.
Does that make you feel like uncomfortable? You want to flip it?
You feel like you're in space?
Yeah, hold on. Or do you feel like you're in space, tumbling into the awful? All right. I think we can just do a flat-out rotate, yeah?
Flip, drop, reverse.
Sip it in reverse. Nothing like playing Ashes on a Star Wars mat. Is there something sacrilegious about that?
I don't think so.
You can play anything on a Star Wars mat, right?
You can, yes.
Let me tell you, one thing I know is true. All right, that's better. Oh, that's so much better. Look at this now.
So much better.
Look, now it's a beautiful vista. Wow, it actually is beautiful for you guys.
It is great.
Nice. Been listening to country music all morning.
Yeah.
John Anderson.
That was the vibes you were putting down when you walked in.
Little Alabama. I don't even know if I like them.
I've just been listening to Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh, too predictable. All right, let's get our
too good
back here. It's just too. That album though, that album is not. I'm not gonna listen to it till it's cold outside.
Well, you're lost, man.
It's not a summer album. It's not a summer album. Come on. It's just not.
Jay Aiken says, God, it looks like God's hands reaching down from space.
All right, so if you're new, this is the perfect time to be joining in. And we're just going to kind of go through the system, explain how it works. If you're on the fence about Ashes, whether or not you want to back it and get on that sub and get it going, try to get it going locally, this is a great stream for you. So we're just going to dive into the games. What we're doing is just all the different expansions have pre-constructed decks, something that was even then quite ahead of its time, if you ask me. And we're going to be pulling random precons and using them. And just playing against. Now we don't know if they're necessarily balanced against each other. There could be some blowouts that happen, those kinds of things. But it's going to be a good time, just kind of learning the mechanics. Quick question: when will we charge for Reborn? 2 weeks before delivery, freaking campers? Yeah, it may be a little bit different. I mean, it won't be too far off the standard subscription process. We'll let you know before that happens, because it is a kind of a new, interesting variation. So. We'll let you know before the first one comes through, and then once it's off to the races, it'll function like a normal subscription. It'll just be every 3 months, a couple of weeks before that release, you'll get charged, and it'll show up on your door. We don't have to worry about release dates either. We are the release date.
It's a whole new game. So as soon as we have it and we can get it out to you, we can. Mm-hmm. There's no none of that business.
So it'll be super early.
Also, if you signed up, this is the best part.
Really?
There's not going to be an allocation. Mm-hmm. That's what happened with these. It wasn't these. It was whatever came after Ren and Brennan, which is what we're playing first. Nowhere near enough was printed. And there were tons of players that were super disappointed because it was kind of peak excitement. And then it was like, oh, you can't have all the new stuff.
Boy, that's a tale as old as time, is it not? Anybody know the suggested starting 5 for these decks?
Well, here's the thing. So if you look at the back of the cards, I just opened this pack, and I only have 2 conjurations.
Yeah, you don't conjure anything. What are you a burn boy? Yes, you are.
But like I'm looking, and I have my spellboard stuff. So like I have Chant of Protection, Chant of the Dead.
Gross.
Summon Dread Wraith. So I'm
Thanks,
just
Josh McIntyre. Appreciate that.
I'm looking for my permanents, so to speak.
10 nature for Ren. Okay, thank you. Nature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why do we have 13 nature dice?
So I technically should have like 20.
That's correct.
And I have no idea what happened. But
just leave Ronan in front of
them's
him.
the beats, though.
And then, let's see.
It looks like I need the black dice and
10 ceremonial for Brennan.
That's me.
You got the black dice there. Yeah, tokens are coming back. We're reprinting those. Winter tokens, probably not. Probably not. We might do a version of them, like a different version, but it's kind of one of those things where if you were like on it in 2015, 2016, and you got those exclusive winter items, it's kind of like, well, you did it. I mean, you should be rewarded for being so ahead of the game there, knowing that this game would come back. So I'm gonna look at my spell board like you did. So I'm gonna do a Summon Ice Golem, a Summon Frostback Bear, and then I can give things Unit Guard with this spell. I can give things Frozen Crown. Now, Rin's ability, attach an Ice Buff Conjured Alteration spell to a target unit you control. So are these here in my Conjuration pile? Yes, they are.
Michael's saying Rin's first 5 are Summon Frostback Bear, Summon Ice Golem, Frostbite, Frost Fang, Ice Trap. Okay. Brennan's first 5 are Choke, Chant of the Dead, Summon Dreadwraith, Fire Archer, and Black Cloud Ninja.
Okay. I saw some of the, we'll dive in here. I saw some of the first 5 like math that was going on in some old Ashes conversation somewhere, and it was like
next level, right?
Yeah, I had never considered it to that degree. I was just blown away by like, well, you got to calculate what are your 10 dice going to be spent on, and that's one of the interesting things about illusion changing, is that you can pretty well guarantee you're going to have 10 dice, right? So like you can literally calculate, these are my 10 resources at the start of the game, and here are the things that I'm going to do with those 10 with these 5 cards.
Yeah, and you know that because illusion on the Reborn rules are going to be, you can spend it to change 2 of your opponent's dice to a side of your choice. And so what that means is that they can't take any away like you were saying. So you can always meditate to change back. So it might cost you a lot of cards, but you can definitely play the 10 resources on turn 1 you want.
You can, yeah, they can make it awful for you, but okay, let's see. And then we've got, let's see, Connor, I don't know, why do you two always make me go all in on a game? I bought the whole shebang and subscribed for Ashes Reborn on Monday. I don't know why. Maybe because it's something that we genuinely love. It probably stems from the fact that like we come out of a life where where we were playing games that nobody cared about, and so when we get a chance to care about a game, particularly one that that wouldn't be kind of the mainstream expectation like the Magics and the Yu-Gi-Ohs, we genuinely do. And like this is our dream come true. Like that. Actually, PvP is like an insane like. I haven't stopped to really reflect on that because I'd probably be driven to tears, but
and that we can't have that.
Can't have that. And gross
emotions.
Ugh.
Ugh.
the actual there's that old joke about the Irish where the Irish plan for dealing with emotions is to bury them deep down inside and then die one day. Anyway, so it's the idea that you can take one of these lesser known games or like one that doesn't have the marketing budget or the player base and not only support it fully, which is what we've been doing throughout all of our Covenant experience the past 13 years, is trying to give support to games that weren't getting it, that deserved it. But to go beyond that and actually give it support in the way that you find it republished and redistributed to a player base that really wants this game to exist in the world. Huge dream come true. Yeah, hopefully that comes through, I guess. We're not manufacturing it. It's very real. Yeah, Massacre rewinded stream to the champagne popping moment. That was incredible. I'm sure somebody could just snapshot those faces and
you're blueing.
It would really pay off. Yep. So hey, we've got the Natural Magic. We want to show that off. Stream crew, production crew. Check out the old Natural Magic card.
Oh, we got the new one?
Yeah, we got not the new ones, but we just got all of the dice abilities now we can pop up. Oh. Thank you.
A stream of mishaps.
I went to college.
That was a nice recovery.
Yeah, well.
Gotta be careful with the champs.
I know. You got the good stuff. I've only ever had Andre.
It's the most... You mean the stuff you mix with orange juice in the morning? When someone's like, hey, we're having brunch, you bring the champagne. It's like, all right, Andre, here we go.
Here we go. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got this. We've got our Phoenixborn. You want to get into this thing?
Yep.
You want to just face off?
Right here, yep.
I feel like I'm playing Flesh and Blood again. It's like we're facing off.
We're back.
Okay, I've got
so I'm going to put my dice ability here. So my used dice are going to go down here. And when I have them and I can use them, I'm going to put them up top.
Okay,
I'm just going
down to
keep
up.
it.
I like that. I like that. And I'll do the same thing. Keep this clean. This is going to be great. Now you got to watch. We got to watch our
right here. I know. I'm avoiding that space like the
plague.
Yes. Rob says, any news on launching that Discord server?
Yeah, we are working on it. We've got it built. Now we just got to have a launch plan, and then we got to implement it. You know,
final stages.
Final stages.
Sanjuro saying, do you have a Team Covenant Discord? That's what we're talking about. Soon.
Ooh, look at all those leaves, though. Leaves and frogs. I've only got 2 basics.
I got more. So you basically roll, and there's symbols on these dice. Every die has this basic symbol.
I think I just did something illegal.
You changed your dice?
I think I flipped it, yeah, but I don't. It's a frog now.
And so there's 3 different sides on each die. There's the basic, and then there's the upgrade and the power side. And the power side is a 1 and 6, but it actually, based on the color that it is, has an ability that comes with it. So mine, I have the ceremonial magic dice.
Pull up that reference card there.
Yep, and it's got that little diamond-looking thing on there. It means it's a side action, and I spend one of those ceremonial dice with the goat on it. Choose an ally in your discard pile. Add that ally to your hand. Deal damage equal to that ally's attack value to your Phoenixborn. So I can basically get allies back as long as I do their damage to myself to do that. Obviously, that's super good with 0 attack things because you can just get them back and use them for whatever you use them for. And then these are also used to basically key to a certain resource type. So I have a card in my hand called Fire Archer, and you'll see a starbursty symbol on the top right. That means it's the main action. Every turn you get 1 main action, 1 side action. So to play Fire
Destiny
Archer,
with a little spice,
a little sugar and spice,
a little spice, yeah.
So you get 1 main action, 1 side action, and to play Fire Archer, you have to spend that main action plus one of those. You have 11 dice. Cheats McGillicuddy over here. So one of these knife symbols, which is the mid-grade resource type, and then the card does what it does. So I'm going to take an action, and we'll go from there. Let me look at my conjuration.
Josh McIntyre saying, I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy to watch. Anybody else in that situation, just stay with us. You'll understand the game. So Zach has to do 17 damage to me. That's my health here. I have to do 20 damage to Zach. We both have a special ability on our Phoenixborn. My special ability for Rin Northfell here is called Ice Buff. So a little diamond icon is a side action. I can take a side action and exhaust, and that looks like this. Attach an ice buff to a target unit I control. So I've got a conjuration pile. I can dig through at any time. I can throw an ice buff to give it +1 life.
Nice. You're freezing weapons for them to use.
I'm just I'm just helping my units out. What are you up to?
Meantime, Brennan Blackcloud, Phoenixborn of Blackcloud, has a battlefield of 5, so I can have 5 creatures or conjurations or allies in play. Spellboard of 3, so he's not that magical. And he has a side action called Spirit Burn. He has to exhaust and spend a basic resource. Destroy a unit I control. If I do, I can deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn. So with ceremonial magic, you can picture very quickly. You'll play a unit, it'll do its thing. I can sacrifice it to basically do 2 damage, and then I can use a ceremonial die to get it back. And I can just keep that loop rolling.
Don't like that. And a question about getting on Ashes Reborn. Yeah, as long as you're in before that charge happens, which is probably weeks, maybe month-ish away, you will be on deck for it. So now the sooner you sign up for that sub, it's free and you don't have to worry about it. The more that we can print and the more that we kind of have information. So if you're interested, just go ahead and sign up. Let's go.
I think the balancing act there is at some point, print is going to happen. You have to hit print on a print run. And so the risk of signing up later is that if we hit print and then a bunch of people sign up, it's possible we could hit our cap. So then we wouldn't be able to allow more people to subscribe or get the product. But we won't actually be charging for a while. It's going to be a couple weeks before it actually comes out when we actually hit charge. But the only way to guarantee you actually get supply and you actually get the expansions is to sign up. So It's super helpful to us because it allows us to inform Plaidhat of how big to make the print run, and then that guarantees that product's going to be available.
All right, man. You got the first main action. Bring it on.
I'm just going to use my main action to play Summon Dread Wraith. It's a spell. So you have a spell board. My Brennan Blackcloud has a spell board of 3. These spells stay in play. It's the only thing that really is more permanent in the game. But you'll see that on Summon Dread Wraith on the top right, it's got that action symbol. It costs me an action. I'll play it. It doesn't cost me anything else. So that's all golden.
And then you'll notice later on, Zach can use the main action. Now that the spellbook is in play, you can use the main action to start summoning things from that spellbook. So you gotta, it's really cool because you have to broadcast what you're gonna bring into the game before it actually happens. And then there's allies that actually come in from your hand. So there's 2 kind of different unit types and they have different advantages.
A couple cool questions coming in. Dave saying, will you guys be doing any deck building streams? Absolutely. So we'll make our way through all these decks, and then the next natural step is to actually start deck building. And related, where is it? Garrett asking, will Team Covenant handle spoiling the 1.5 changes, or will Plaidhat do that? You'll just have to stay tuned. It'll be a fair amount of both.
Maybe both. Yeah, probably both. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start off by playing Frostfang from my hand. This is an ally. You want to just leave our battlefields like this, like with our Phoenixborn in them?
Layer them here.
What's your battlefield? Mine's 6. What do you
3.
Have? Oh,
no, 5. Sorry.
Okay, 5. I was going to say, you're playing the small ball here. Okay, so that's going to cost me, you notice on the top right of Frostfang, it's got a main action, so that's my main action for the turn. And then I'm going to spend 1 frog die, because it requires 1 frog there. This unit has rapid healing 1, so when it would receive damage, I can spend any number of basics. For each basic spent, prevent 1.
So
it's going to save my bacon.
You can basically pay to save. So another thing about the dice is it's got 3 sides, but there's the basic symbol, but then every die above it counts for the value below it. So technically, all of your dice have the basic value to be used on that.
And then I'm going to use a side action. You get a main action and a side action. So I'm going to piggyback here on the side action with an ice buff. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Rin Northfell. You see the little eyeball kind of Illuminati looking symbol. That means you can bring an ice buff in, attach it to a unit I control. When I attach it here, one of my favorite things about Ashes, you see how when you attach something, it gives my little life +1 down here. That lines up perfectly with my current life stat. So, hey, I've got 2 life. Easy peasy.
Nice. Also, Jared asking, what was focus again? So if you look at my Summon Dreadwraith spell, it's got focus 2 on it. So focus means if I draw another copy of Summon Dreadwraith, I can actually play it basically on top of this one, and I have 2 copies in play that I can use. But it's focused 1 at that point. So I'd have to have 3 copies out for it to be focused 2, so I probably won't have that until like later in the game.
So you can supercharge your spells by playing additional copies of the spellbook if they have focus. And once you play additional copies, you can use each of them once per turn. So like if I have 3 Summon Dreadwraith spellbooks in play, that usually means if I want to, I can summon 3 separate Dreadwraiths that turn, which is really nice. It reminds me of Star Wars TCG where you stack it under, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do this. I will go ahead and use Summon Dreadwraith. It takes an action. It has the exhaustion symbol on it, and it says 3 of these knives. So we'll
it's not a knife, it's a spoon.
Play for some blood here. Place a Dreadwraith conjuration onto your battlefield. So I'll put 1 into play. The Dreadwraith is a conjuration, and it has Rage 1, and it's inexhaustible. You'll see on the Dreadwraith, it's got that box around the text with like the different colored background. That means it's inexhaustible. Normally, when a unit gets exhausted, their card is basically blank minus their stats. But that's an inexhaustible ability, so it just is. And it says Rage 1, add 1 to this unit's attack value for each wound token on this unit. Attack 1, life 6.
What?
So if it had 5 damage on it, then it would technically be a 6 attack unit.
Okay.
Also, look at the art on this Dreadwraith.
Look at the art on
got
this
the like
Dreadwraith.
skull, but like under the fabric, and then like the hands aren't as like skeletory.
Goodness. You got some big stuff there. Okay, well, the only thing that'll make me feel better about that is if I can summon some bears. So I'm going to play Summon Frostback Bear. It costs me an action and a frog. And then what I'm going to do is look in my hand and basically see, do I need to flip any dice to symbols that would matter this turn? Now, worth noting, so my natural magic reference card here, I can always spend a frog as a side action to deal a damage to a target unit. So I can do that once. So I can do 1 damage. I can ping some unit. Now, Zach's got Dreadwraith only. There's 6 health. So I don't feel like I should waste any time flipping up to a frog until I have a sense that you're going to be putting something weak into play. So my side action is just going to be a straight up pass.
Who went first this game?
You did.
Give me that first player token.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't mind if you do.
Let's put it invisible. So this is the first player token from our Arcane token set. We're out of them right now. Sign up for the wait list if you want to get those when they come back.
Jonathan knocked this one out of the park.
It's crazy 5 years later, I still look at these. Most token sets, I look back and I'm like, oh, this is what we've learned since then. And I look at these and I'm like...
These are flawless, man.
Yep.
I always thought they were probably the best thing we'd done.
You ready for this?
For sure.
This is a crazy card. I'm going to play a Black Cloud Ninja. It cost me an action, 1 knife, and 2 basics. It's an expensive unit, but it has a super good power. Seal Strike 1, when this unit comes into play, I can spend a basic to place an exhaustion token on a target ready spell.
Okay. I've got a reaction.
Okay.
It's called an Ice Trap. You may play it after a unit with life value of 2 or less comes into play. Destroy target unit.
He gone.
Cost me 1 leaf. And this is the interesting thing. So I know that Nick is very much focused on this kind of interaction. Like things that happen when I come into play, things that happen whenever you come into play, and having these complex timing chains. The way that I think this is going to work in the future, I think this will probably be more like a ready spell.
Yeah.
And then you load it with a token, and then whenever a unit comes into play, you can remove a token to destroy it or something like that.
Or,
would be my guess.
Like if that was a ready spell that you put tokens on when a unit gets played, and then it's like you can spend your action and exhaust it to do 2 damage to something.
Right on. Yeah.
So that it's actually, I think based on the interview that we did last week on the stream, and that video is going up by itself, right? People have been asking.
Yeah, it's up right now.
It's in the middle of the stream.
It just went up.
So it's like a 30, 35-minute interview with Nick, who's the now lead developer, and Isaac, who developed the game initially. But removing that, like you just did that on my turn.
I did.
So then now you still get to go.
I will. Where'd all your dice go that you just spent?
They're here.
Oh, those are your spindies?
That's my,
right.
Those are my actors.
Yeah, that's right. You know, like what we said earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Let's throw Frostbite down here. It's only going to cost me an action. I can deal the damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn for a leaf and an exhaustion there. And then if I focus it 1, so if I have a second copy, I can change the cost to only a basic instead of a leaf. And then I've got a side action, and I'm so short on dice, I'm tempted to just start flipping them to frogs and see if I can get this Wraith off the table. Just discard 5 right now to 5 frogs, and just you'll never give me the time to do it because we'll both pass our main actions before that happens.
Yeah, and I also have this on Brennan, the Spirit Burn. Side action exhaust, spend a resource, destroy a unit I control if I do deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn. So like if you get him to like 4 or 5, like 4, I'd probably swing with the damage.
Fair, yeah,
and then I would destroy him to then get you.
He's a problem.
He's going to keep happening too.
Yeah, he's going to keep being a problem, isn't he?
Is it my turn?
It's yours, yeah.
All right, I'm going to play Chant of the Dead onto my spell board. It costs me an action and a knife, so I'll use the goat because it counts as a knife and a basic. And this says it's inexhaustible. When an ally I control is destroyed, I can place a status token here. That's these tokens. During my turn, if this spell has 3 or more status tokens on it, I can discard the spell to select 3 dice in my exhausted pool and place them into my active pool on a side of my choice.
Very nice. Very beautiful. I love it. Good question here. Daniel Amadeo, does the lack of a resource curve affect the viability of huge dudes? I think it's the exact opposite. Like, I can come in here on the first turn and spend 7 on a giant creature if I want to. Normally in a game, I can't do that until turn 7.
So it's a blank card until turn 7.
But like, yeah, I could play literally my max resources I start the game with, and next turn I'll have max resources to start the turn, and on and on. So it's incredible. All right, so yeah, and Ice Trap's a good question. Does it cancel the when they come into play ability? I'm not sure. I think it's probably like one of those active player gets to decide how that resolves, and so Zach would resolve his first and then resolve the Ice Trap first. Okay. Wheel. I'm going to start wheeling and dealing here. You know what? I'm going to attack your Phoenixborn. It's going to do 1 damage. A one attack, 2 life. You can block with the Dread Wraith or not.
Yeah, I'll block with the Dread Wraith.
Okay. So then we'll go into battle, and then you can optionally choose to do your damage. I have to here.
I will not.
So I'm going to do 1 damage to you, and then you're going to take nothing.
So basically, it's letting me pump his strength.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Before it happens, yeah. And then for the side action, I'll just pass that on over.
Let's play a fire archer with my main action. I have to spend a knife, so I'll go ahead and spin this goat. Ambush. When this unit comes into play, I can deal a damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn.
Oh, yeah? But I've got recover 1.
Well, he can come punch you.
Okay. Now that would trigger the old rapid healing, so I can spin 1 to reduce 1 damage, prevent 1.
Well,
yeah.
How about we just do that?
Maybe a bunch of different ways that's reasonable. Okay, we're gonna use Frostbite. Gonna exhaust, spend a leaf, deal 1 damage to a target unit. It's gonna be that one.
Boom! But I do get a token here.
Chant of the Dead. Eric, Ashes is drastically faster and less complicated than L5R. It's not even the same category of experience, honestly.
Let's go ahead and side action meditate to a goat.
Okay, and that's what, so the meditate side action, you can spend any number of cards from your hand. You can discard spells from your spell board. You can discard cards from the top of your deck. For every card that you discard in that way, you can change one of your die faces. So you can meditate for 10 and change all 10 to the biggest symbol if you wanted to.
But it's 30 card decks, and once you're out of cards in your deck, every card that you would draw normally that you can't draw, you take a damage for. So it's kind of a light version of Mill. Dreadwrath is going to attack...
The old Dreadwrath?
Dreadwrath is going to attack Ren. For 2.
Okay, now normally I could use this unit to block, but because it's exhausted, it's like being tapped essentially, so I can't do that. So I'm just gonna have to take 2.
Whoosh. Now this is pod racing.
All right, so you're all out of everything.
Yeah, I could destroy this to do 2 damage to you.
Okay.
I won't. Spoiler.
All right, my main action is summoning an ice golem.
Oh no.
On top right, it's you see the main action symbol there.
You tricked me.
And that's that's right. Woo! Late game spooks.
Okay, I'll pass.
All right. So then if Zach and I both pass our main action, that goes to the next turn. But if I keep taking main actions and you keep passing, we'll keep going. So summon Ice Golem, I'm going to use the main action here. It's going to cost me an exhaustion, 2 leaves, and 1 basic. Place an Ice Golem onto my battlefield. So I go through my conjuration pile here and I find my Ice Golem, which is here. Place it on the battlefield. So now summoned forth an Ice Golem.
Let me just do that in a second. Quick question real quick from Brad though. Says, I haven't heard anything or seen anything about Skytear in a bit. Are you guys still playing it? This game does look cool though. Yeah, we definitely are. So those releases that were supposed to come out in July got delayed. We initially had planned on resuming streaming once we had the new cards and the new map and whatnot. So that'll be back on our normal rotation at some point in the not so distant future.
Yeah,
Still love that game.
I'm actually really jacked to get back into the deck building. Because like I had some ideas. I've had some ideas since then. Just gonna be honest.
And it's good too to like palate cleanse.
Yeah, yeah.
You go real hard into a game for a while and then you take a break. Luckily, we have a lot of games that are interesting right now. Let me look at this thing.
Yeah, check out that Ice Golem.
Skin morph. Add 2 to the unit's life value if it has 1 or more alteration spells attached to it. Oh, so like if you'd put that frozen thing on it, it gets more frozen.
I'll do it at the start of next turn. Don't you worry.
Isn't it when you play them though? Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You
Pass.
passing?
Yep.
Dangerous game we're playing here. I could sink 3 into the Dreadwraith.
I could block for it if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
my Phoenixborn.
But then if I sink 3 into it, you probably just use this ability to do 2 damage.
Correct, and get another token.
And get another token. Or I could go after Brennan, which is, you're wide open. Let's go. 3 on Brennan here.
Taking it. Take a look. Pass.
Let me maybe side action here. I got all these leaves. All right, I'm gonna. I'll side action. Man, but if you get to go first next turn, it's real bad.
Paint 4 ball. You're going first next turn.
Oh, right.
It just rotates.
It rotates.
Saying now I have to sub to all the to Ashes. Can't wait. Welcome.
Okay, so if I do 3, you're at 4. I need to do 2 more. I don't have a clean way to... frog and a frostbite.
Blake saying, I never expected during all these months that I haven't been able to play card games that I would buy into so many new ones with perhaps unrealistic expectations of playing them in the future.
This one is almost for collecting just for painting purposes. Just not painting, just as a painting. Like, it's just so gorgeous.
Oh, for the art? Yeah.
You have it in your collection, you bust it out. All right, I'm going to take a side action to...
meditate. Ooh. The main thing about this, it's kind of cool, right? It's to have the various options, because I think Flesh and Blood is obviously a collectible game. It demands a certain amount of resources and attention.
I shouldn't do that. I'm not doing that.
But the other reality is, like, I was talking with a few friends, and it's like you could technically play Ashes, Skytear, Marvel Champions, and Arkham Horror, and your budget at that point is $40 to $50 a month.
Yep.
For 4 insane games. Those games are crazily good to me, and like it's crazy.
So let me tell you why I almost did what I did, and then why I didn't do the thing that I wanted to do. So my main action is attacking with the Ice Golem. My side action was going to be meditate these dice to frogs, right? Because my thinking was, well, I'll just spin these frogs to do 3 damage to Zach's Dreadwraith, and then at the top of the next turn, I'll probably have a frog side action and a frostbite main action, do 2 more damage and kill you. But what I didn't fully appreciate was that these are side actions one at a time. So I don't have a main action to do, so I'm going to have to pass, then you're going to pass, and then the turn's going to end, and my frog's going to be sitting there.
Yeah, now I've already passed, so once you pass, it's definitely over. But the other thing is that it's like I meditated to a goat, but that's basically because I knew I couldn't use this resource. So I know I have the best result going to the next round.
Oh, yeah, you can save them for the next round.
You don't have to use them. So like that's the reason you might want to meditate.
That's
like,
right.
You turn them into frogs, and then you know you have your 3 of your best resources in play from the first second of the game.
That's right. Okay. I'll just hold them.
But it's like Boss says, you can do all 3 at once.
Can you really? I don't. Is that true? Are you for sure about that?
No, you can't.
I played the entire game thinking that you could not do that.
There's no way. Because
no,
it's side action, 1 die.
It says
and you get 1 side action.
1 die, deal 1 damage, yeah. If you could do all 3 at once, I think that would change everything. I'm going to pass. Passing. Everybody recovers?
You can meditate a lot. Yeah. That's correct. That's 1 side action. But you can't you can only spin 1 frog per turn. So he was going to meditate to 3 frogs so he could hit me for 3 and deal 2 more. But he can't actually do that before I go. So then he would just be charging up my Dreadwraith for
no good reason whatsoever.
No good reason. All right, so following the phases real quick. Prepare phase. During the recovery phase, we recover. Doesn't matter.
You don't have any recovery here.
Remove exhaustion, which we've done. Then we exhaust our dice, so you can choose any dice left and put it back in for a reroll if you want.
May as well.
Then we flip back to the phase 1 prepare, and the first thing we'll do is roll a dice. And then this is one of the clever things that the game does. So after you see your die results, you can actually look at your hand and choose any of your cards that you want, and you can discard them.
You get a little pre-game or mid-game mulligan.
So if you had cards in your hand and you know, like based on your roll, it's unlikely you're going to get to play them, you can obviously get rid of them. But then you draw back up to 5. This is going to go over to Steven. He's now the first player. And we enter turn 2.
Ooh, nice. This is good. Okay. So you're saying it's me. Have I got news for you, man? Have I got news for you? Oof. Okay. All right. You gotta be good at this game.
There is the capacity to be good at it.
There's the capacity to be good at this game.
And it's going to be a while before we're at that level.
Yeah. Only took us like 7 streams of Flesh and Blood to get there.
We got the sexy dinosaur in the house saying, "Hey guys, happy to be a part of the 1K to bring Ashes back. Since discovering you from Ashes videos, I'm excited for it to come full circle."
That's right.
So I assume you've been with us for 5+ years. What else have you played in the meantime? I'm curious.
All right, hey, let's get the party started. Let's get it started. Before you do that weird thing where you exhaust my spells, What's this bear about? Let's look at what this bear is up to.
That was a particular ally that I had in my hand, by the way.
Yeah, but you might have another.
It's totally true.
Damage to another, you may spend to place one. You may deal one.
Alan Jones saying, in the last video I saw you using multiple dice types, and this video using one. So it depends on the deck, what you want to run.
I'm summoning a bear.
But part of the game is that you choose your 10 dice. So right now there's 6 colors of dice. I think a 7th, a time dice, is coming at some point in the future. So that's part of your deck building, is deciding which dice to run.
Then I'll take Rin's side action here to put an ice buff on the ice golem, which I'm going to put 2 double status on this to signify that he now has +2 life. So he's currently a 5 life unit because of Skin Morph 2.
Do you want to just make it a 3?
Oh, sure. Just don't read this bottom section.
Yeah, we'll just, anytime we're boosting life, that token says what it is.
Okay, we'll do 2 here then. She's got 2.
That's super helpful.
Okay.
We need life and plus attack counters.
Okay.
Because like status tokens are actual literal things.
I'm on the case.
Yeah. Put marking on it. Add it to the list of long list of things that we need. All right, let's do this.
Damien, there was not a discussion about launching Ash as a digital product. And first of all, we wouldn't have been interested in that, and Plaid Hat was not at all interested in that. I don't think that's even in the DNA. Physical games for life.
I'm going to take my main action to play a little card called Poison.
Oh, gosh.
And we're going to poison your ice golem.
You can't poison ice.
And it's inexhaustible. It says after you take a main action other than pass, deal a damage to this unit. So every time I take a main action, I'm going to deal damage to it. Or is it you?
Oh, God, it's Marvel Champions all over again.
I don't know. Who's
it's
the
pointed
you
at, It's
to?
pointed at you. It's got to be me. It gives that unit this. After you take a poison spell, main unit. No, it's probably you. No, it's probably me.
Taylor saying, I got my status tokens with no numbers on them in my arcane token set. Well, you're super lucky. You just got a misprint. If you haven't already contacted support, please do, and we'll get that fixed. But
How
that's
is that
funny.
even possible? Did you peel them? Did you peel the stuff off? There's paper on the top, so sometimes that happens.
Mutton Chop says mine as well. That's funny. We have a Kafifi on our hands.
Is it actually blank, or did you guys not peel them?
Mutton Chop's a familiar face, so I assume.
Mutton Chop's probably peeled some tokens before. It's Steven as the U effect. Yeah, okay. Huh.
Every time you take an action, you take a damage.
Yeah. Bummer. Okay.
There's been a murder.
So what you're saying is... Man, these Dread Wraiths, I'm not even...
Coconut Monkey says, wait, the status token is supposed to have numbers on them? Yes. We may have to email everyone if that's the thing.
Those are from like 1,000 years ago.
They're here. You can see there's a 3 and a 1. They're super useful.
I don't even know how that's possible. It's the same file.
They're in the computer, dude.
How do you forget the number? Like, how does a computer forget the number?
I mean, we haven't made these in forever, right? Like, we've been reprinting them occasionally, but...
That's hilarious. Okay, so everybody who bought... We're going to have to email everybody. Cool. It's a fun day. All right. What do I do? I'm poisoned. So this ice golem does not have long to go.
The old ice poison. He's got 4 life. You have to take 4 actions for him to go away.
He's got 5 life.
That's right. My math's good.
So you're attacking for 2, as you do. All right. Bear is going to attack Dread Wraith.
Take a damage.
That's going to get annoying.
You're hitting for 2?
Hitting for 2, but I have freeze 1, so when I deal damage to another unit, I can spend a basic to exhaust it. I can encase you in ice.
Block with Brennan.
When I deal damage to a Phoenixborn, I can deal 1 additional.
Block.
All right, done. Take 3. Call me in the morning. And then for a side action, maybe I should frog up.
Happy to do it, Matt.
Maybe I should frog up. No side action. Pass it over.
Alan's saying, Zach, can you go over attacks and defenders real quick? Yeah, so it's not as complicated as it might seem. So like I have my Dread Wraith. He currently has a 2 attack. So I can attack one of two things. I can attack Steven's Phoenixborn, or I can attack one of his units. So if I attack a unit, the only thing that can block for the unit is either the unit or a Phoenixborn, or if you have a unit that has a unit guard, like a Gilder. So the Gilders can actually block for their friends. Now, when, let's say I attack the Ice Golem, he's not going to block with the Phoenixborn. Here's what would happen. Starting with the attacker, I would exhaust, and I would declare where my damage is going to go, which would be on the Ice Golem. Then Steven, as the defender, gets to choose whether or not he's going to exhaust. If he doesn't, he just takes the damage. If he does, he takes the damage and also deals back his attack in damage. Now, when you're fighting, like if Steven attacked me, and he could do this all at once, all 3 of these could attack me at the same time. But they all can't attack the same unit, right? That's not how that would work. But they could all attack my Phoenixborn at the same time.
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, and if that happens, I can block any of those attacks. But it's one conjuration or unit per Steven's conjuration or unit. So like I could block here, here, or here, and the other 2 would actually sneak through because I don't have enough blockers.
That's correct. He's right. Unload the toad. Yeah, that's great. Great idea, really. That's really a great idea. Unload the toad is just so funny. I don't want to pump up that Dread Wraith.
I'm going to spend an action and exhaust my summon Dread Wraith, spending 3 knives. And we're going to get another Dread Wraith.
This is fun.
The Brothers of Death.
Brothers of Dread. All right, Ice Golem. These Wraiths, man. These Wraiths.
Don't want to deal with them.
They're all around us. Radio waves. Do, 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 do. And you're just going to block.
SoCal Trojan saying, Zach, are the time dice going to be released in another box set? If so, expect me to be buying 2 for a set of 10 dice as I've been going with the previous set. So the time dice are going to come out. Basically, the release order is the 1.5 upgrade kit for Ashes Reborn, which replaces like 30% of the cards in the game currently. And then the release after that, which will happen about 3 months later, is going to be kind of deluxe expansion that comes with a nice box like this, which is where the deluxes came before. It's like a nice cardboard box, very sturdy. Got to do the knock test. And it's going to come with a deck and the dice in the box. And then after that is when we're going to get to standard releases, which is basically 2 Phoenixborn fully built decks that come out every 3 months.
Ooh, yeah, who's laughing now? Okay, I'm going to play another copy of Frostbite here. So it's now Focus 1. So the Focus 1 ability is currently active, which means that the activation cost only costs me an exhaustion and a basic die to do 1 damage to a Phoenixborn or a unit. So I'm going to start chipping away at you because I can't get through these stupid Dread Wraiths. And side action, I could frog into a Dread Wraith, but it just makes you stronger. You're so unscary now.
There's a Kelly Clarkson song about that. Oh, if you take an action, be sure you take your damage.
Okay, thanks. Pass the side action.
Got him. Yeah. All right, mine?
Mm-hmm. Ooby-Doob, no, I don't believe there's a plan to do any big bundle or anything. I think you just got to chase it down. It'll get reprinted as it goes.
And Ooby-Doob, worth noting, on the Planet Hat website right now, they have all but 2 or 3 of the like Phoenixborn expansions in stock, and then those are out. So those will be getting reprinted in the Ashes Reborn 1.5 style. But everything else is available, and it's currently half off. So it's a great time to pick it all up if you are wanting to get everything. All right.
Hit me with that Shams, would you?
Another round of the Gruet. Be careful, it's a wild bottle.
It's a wild bottle.
It's not done for the day, you know? Like, it's one, drop it right now and glass shattering. I don't know. It's just, I feel like things could keep getting weird.
It's bubbly, man. You got a bubbly one.
A bubbly.
I feel like you,
It's earning the nickname.
Champagne punch. I've got you every way from Sunday in this game, by the way.
Nah.
Not even close. You mean to hold on to this guy? You need some more there?
You want to just hit me with a little bit
Sure.
of that? Dude, there's just a pip, like a fifth of a glass, you know?
Yeah. I've had friends like you before.
Corbin says, I decided to go in on the game today. 1 copy of everything, but the 2 decks that are out of stock comes in at about $160, which is a pretty great deal for essentially all of a game that gets as much praise as it does.
Yeah,
it's a really good deal.
That's true. You doing anything yet?
I'm
Figure your turn out, or?
I guess I'm supposed to poison my Dread Wraith, by the way. Load them up. That's what the people are saying. Let's play a Crimson Bomber.
That guy's awesome.
Sounds like my kind of cat.
Ice Trap.
Yeah. Detonate 3. I can take a side action, destroy this unit to place 1 wound token on up to 3 target units. I won't do that yet.
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
He's got to go. 1 wound token up to 3 target units. I have 3. That's too much efficiency, man.
And then I will side action Goat for a Black Cloud Ninja into my hand. He's the one that when I play him, I can exhaust an unexhausted spell.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember that.
Okay, I'm not good at this yet. Definitely not good at this yet. I wish that I want to buff that Frostfang. I need her to have more tackies. All right, hey, you know what? You know what? You know what? Freezing Blast. Boom. Crimson Bomber. Get out of here. Main action. 2 leaves. Deal 2 damage to a target unit.
Cancel it. Just kidding. But I will put another status token over here.
And then I'll take a side action.
Oh yeah, I take 3 damage from that.
Discard 1 card. Really?
From getting that card back.
Oh, I'm smart boy. Take a side action, turn 1 of these into a frogman.
Froggy, froggy.
I'm going to start loading up the frogs. What are we asking Gratuitous Camouflage? Which is a hilarious name. John R., what's your question? No idea. You really want 15 of each dice type for the kitchen table so you can play any 2 precons head to head.
I'm going to meditate for 1. Here. Then I'm going to play... Nope, not doing that.
With the expansion dice, everybody released on their own like the core dice? I hope so, Gratuitous Camouflage. We don't know. I really, really hope so. I have to imagine that Plaid Hat understands the desire for that kind of a thing.
Did you take an action?
Yeah, I did, man. Come on. Yeah, you got it. You keep me honest. It's your poison. Yeah, that makes sense, Colby. The core set isn't really designed. The packaging was a little tough. Yeah.
Let's meditate twice. Turn these into knives. And then I'll focus my Summon Dread Wraith.
It's worth noting how much I truly love Knives Out, by the way.
The movie.
That is
It's so great, right?
Oh my gosh, man.
I was waiting for you to see it. I also didn't want to pitch it too much. You know, it was
I
just
was
like
absolutely taken by it.
Casual. Yeah.
Absolutely taken by it.
What's the name of the main character?
I don't remember. The detective?
No, the girl.
I don't remember.
That's a good question. Who the protagonist is definitely the girl, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she was awesome. And
So
Blade
good.
Runner 2049 too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, love her. Fantastic actress.
Marta. There it is.
Marta. Yeah, that's right. Marta. Now, can 2 of my units attack 1 of yours?
I don't.
I don't remember doing that back in the day, but we'll.
That
check
seems
it out.
crazy if it is.
Yeah, but you 3 things can just be like wah.
But like
I keep making the noise, so it must
the
be
one-on-one unit thing is a big thing. Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, I do remember that being a critical thing. I think you can only group up against the Phoenixborn, and then you can assign units to them, right? We'll find out.
Ike says yes.
I think you can then.
That's quick. It's a quick
Yes,
turn.
they can. Yes, they can, America.
So then you just take turns beating up on someone?
Yeah, I think it's like exhaust, 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 exhaust. You know, that kind of a situation. Okay, well then. Get ready to die, bun.
I don't think so.
These guys... You know what? Why do I even care about this Dread Wraith? Have I stopped to consider that?
Now, when you go to attack, when does the 1 damage happen?
Quit.
What's it say?
After you take a main action.
That's probably after you attack.
I don't think so. I think it'd be right immediately.
Quit.
Quit. Huh. Why am I even... I have an obsession with this Dread Wraith for no reason. Nope, not going to do it. Frostbite.
Nice. Check this out. Jared says, check out the Flat Hat web store. Xander and Remea, the sold out decks, now have Reborn box art.
Oh,
that's cool.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this Frostbite action, deal 1 to your Phoenixborn. And then side action.
You take a damage for that.
Thanks. Man, insufferable. Oh, wait, hold on. So hold on. Don't do this yet. Because then if I don't use this thing, it's just gone.
You got it.
So I may as well just use it.
We got to attack now.
Ice Golem into Brennan.
He's been poisoned. There's been a murder. You have a what, 3 attack?
Yeah, 3.
I want to block with this Dread Wraith.
Yeah, you are.
I'll take 3.
Okay. You doing your damage back?
No. And you take 1. Just for activating. Wooly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine.
A lot of damage tokens on the table.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Let's think about it.
What's up, Danny? What's up, stream? We're cranking over 350 right now.
Cruising and bruising.
Big stream. Cheers to everybody out there.
Seriously, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true. It just takes 13 years.
Overnight success is a 10-year story.
I swear to God, it's going to take 13 years to build this house.
Well, we'll have champagne again.
I might be dead.
Better than never trying, eh?
Okay. May as well die than not try.
That's what my dad always said. I'm just kidding. Didn't say that. How many? You got a lot of resources left. I don't like what you're doing here.
I'm covering you up in every conceivable way. There is nothing to be done except slowly lose and realize that you were in check before the game even started. You guys know people that actually talk like that and like do that kind of stuff? It would be an insufferable person to play against. Wait a minute.
Okay.
What's up from Ireland? Sell a face. Have all the packs on the way. You guys completely sold me on the game. I can't wait for it to hit the table.
Awesome. Thanks for being a part of this.
I watched that Garth Brooks documentary recently.
That's on my list, by the way.
I didn't realize that Ireland was so well loved by Garth and vice versa. Garth was loved by Ireland. What's up, Trevor? Yes.
Alan Jones, this is a great question.
Expansions came in.
I've been in love with what you guys are doing since your coverage of Conquest. I'd like to challenge you to think of the card games you've ever played and tell me the top 3 things that are unique about this game that brings you to the table with it.
Oh, very good. The first thing, right off the bat, I think the graphic design and art style is the most striking thing that I've seen in a card game.
Yep.
Flesh and Blood kind of has... So Flesh and Blood to me is all fundamentals. The art is fundamentals, but it's fundamental fantasy. It's just excellently executed. The collectible format's well done. The packaging is well done. It's all fundamentals.
It's hitting all the gears.
But this is an absolute change of pace. White backgrounds, no card templating, beautiful art, full front, center.
Even the magic is less like, like typical fantasy. So it's not like World of Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons, blood and gore and wizards and mages
magic
and
missiles,
swords
et cetera,
and that kind of thing. It's more of like it's a high fan. It's like I'm trying to think of the setting.
It's kind of Avatar-y, like Last Airbender, but...
it's something got, like the Dread Wraiths are pretty dark looking, but like there's a lightness to it.
Yeah.
It's more magical, like pixie dust,
you know?
like Peter Pan magic instead of like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Whatever that fantasy is, like a more childlike but not unserious, it's enchanting. It's captivating, definitely. Right? It's like, ooh,
it's almost
magic.
kind of the tone difference between like Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chronicles to me is
I'm into that.
a lighter beat.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's definitely number one. I think 2 is like mechanically gameplay wise. Like Alan, I'm pretty sure you played Destiny, and the recognition for me is this is hitting a lot of those same beats, which is you have dice as resource.
Less dice manipulation. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
You're not manipulating your opponent's dice like you do in Destiny.
Yeah, but there's definitely dice as a resource. There's the action side action, which is basically like the Destiny action back and forth, back and forth. You have a character that you start the game with. So it's got a lot of those beats. And, you know, this came out before Destiny. So the games we were playing before this are like Conquest, Imperial Assault, Netrunner.
Resource curves is a straight line
flat
in this game.
There's no resource. You get your resources. And that's also like playing Thrones, which is another game we were playing right before this, where it's like I could put in 3 copies of Daenerys and never see her, or Drogon, or Euron Greyjoy, or whoever it is. And so you can build a deck around a concept, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. In this game, you get the first 5. So that's one of the most interesting things that it does, is it removes the randomness from the cards you're drawing. So you know you can start out in full Phoenixborn mode, whereas a lot of games you build up. This game doesn't really have that. Like you turn 1, you drop what you want to drop, and then it's not as much building from there as much as it's the tactical gameplay.
I mean, look, if you just put these cards next to each other, it's a beautiful scene. You actually feel like you're conjuring stuff. I mean, that's the cool thing too, is the game is really about bringing things in as a wizard, bringing these conjurations in, and then they actually fight. It feels very. The theme is super strong, right? It just feels very just oozing with theme, which is really nice.
Yeah, and as we've been talking about on the podcast on the How to Ruin a Game series, there's very little floating information.
Yeah.
So like my cognitive load is very low. Like I'm not using much on that except for on the decision making. And there's definitely layers to the game because I'm starting to see things that I wasn't seeing last time, which is cool.
Yeah, the order really matters.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I think this is right. Because you have 1 attack there.
Oh, is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Your race pumped to 4 now, right? You got a 4 and a 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's aggravating. Sexy Dinosaur, bring back any CCG, LCG, what would it be? It'd be Netrunner for sure.
Netrunner's high on the list. Middle Earth CCG is pretty high on my list. Star Wars CCG is high on my list.
What about the TCG, though? Come on,
Star Wars CCG is high on my list.
We loved that game.
I would bring either of those back.
I still love that game.
Even 7th Sea, that was really fun. Mythos CCG was wild. That was a Wildcats game.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring it back. Like, you know, in the grand scheme of like games that deserve...
I dropped that in Arkham.
It's really strange. It's a very strange game. It's basically like an interactive storybook that you're trying to write faster than your opponent.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Apt. That's so apt. It's unbearable. I see you got that ice golem coming.
You don't even understand.
What's that? A main action to do a damage?
1 damage, yeah.
Do damage to what?
Unit or Phoenixborn.
I gotta be careful.
Or not. This guy's going away next turn. Like, next thing I do, it's gone.
Let's attack your Phoenixborn for 4.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to block with a Frostfang here.
All right. I'll hit you for 4.
Now, I've got a thing here. Battle advantage. When it's in battle, it deals this damage for other units without deal their damage. So it actually gets to go first. It's like ranged in Conquest. So I'm going to do 1 to you, and then you get to do
5 to you.
5 back to me.
Bye, Felicia.
You did it. Completely buried that Frostfang. Now, I could spin basics to prevent it, but I'm not.
Then I'm going to use a side action. Exhaust. Use a basic. Destroy here. Do 2 to your Phoenixborn.
Would you stop that?
And when I do destroy, I'll get another status token here.
Somebody's playing the long game on me.
Don't mind me. It's just 3 resources I'm going to get back. Got him. Yeah, I set up a turn here.
I'll take an action.
Yeah, get that bear out of here. Give me that poison back.
You should have your poison. Also, I really love the little conjuration pile over here, you know?
Yeah, so not having to have resource cards in your deck, not having to build a board of resources, not having to have your opening hand in your deck. It cleans up the deck so much. This was the first card game, too, that I played that was a 30-card deck, I believe. So, like, Destiny would do it later, which got me used to it. But, like, that meant the decks themselves could be super focused and super... you don't ever feel like you're drawing dead cards.
All right, so I summoned an ice golem. You notice it says 2 leaves and a basic. I actually spent 2 frogs because anything above the symbol that's required can also count for that symbol. And then 1 basic, which I spent. And so we've got an ice golem on the battlefield. And then I can take a side action. And I have no side actions, so I'll pass it back over to you.
What's that inexhaustible thing?
What's that? Where? This one?
Oh, add 2
it's
to
the
life,
tip plus 2
thing.
if he gets an alteration.
I get it. Chant of the Dead. During my turn, if this spell has 3 or more status tokens on it, discard this spell. It's just like 3 dice in your exhausted pool. Place them in your active pool on sides of your choice. We're doing it. We're going Goat City.
Also, do we know? Do they attack simultaneously, or is it 1 and 1 and 1 and 1?
I think it's simultaneous.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense for Battle Guard, the way that it works.
So summon Dread Wraith. Exhaust. Oh, look at that.
Oh, you can't do that again if you tried.
0. No way.
You had another one ready to go?
Yeah, I focused
you had
it.
2, didn't you?
We'll spend 3, and we'll put a Dread Wraith back. Look who's back. Back again. Yeah, Thomas, you can take your action and side action in any order.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Does it stay in play, yeah? You just get to use it every 3
Nope.
status tokens.
We got to back way up.
Oh, my gosh.
Only my allies charge this.
Oh, great.
So we'll come back for that.
You want me to kill a Wraith to get you
now,
back
before
in legal?
I didn't do anything. No, we're good. He's not an ally. He's a conjuration. So only allies charge
Only
this.
allies, because they're the only ones that die. Conjurations can't die.
I'll play a
Come on.
Crimson Bomber with my resources and an action. That was my action instead of summoning another Dread Wraith and gaining money. So then, technically...
So you can do 1 wound on up to 3 target units, huh?
Did you do this after I played this thing again? Or was he already in play? He was already in play.
No, I played Ice Golem, and then you
Right,
did your stuff.
cool.
Yeah. So I've got a moment here. Oh, okay. See, this is where the game's really good, and let me tell you why. This is why these are the decisions that I think are pretty fascinating. So, just show you guys. I've got 2 cards. I've got a Crystal Shield, which is going to be great with this Ice Golem, literally on the art. It's going to cost me 2 dice, right? And I've got Summon Ice Golem, which is free, so that's going to happen this turn. But if I spend these 2 dice putting a Crystal Shield on this Ice Golem, that means that I won't be able to use Frostbite. So I've got 1 die floating. Now what I could do, if I choose to do the Crystal Shield, the Crimson Bomber is going to potentially attack for 3, and that's happening. What I could also do is I could trigger Frostbite and a Frog in a single action, do 2 damage to the Crimson Bomber, get it off the table. Then I'm sitting on 1 Frog. I don't get to play the Crystal Shield. So I'm having to decide between, which one is more important to me. If I kill the Crimson Bomber, Zach gets 1 on the Chant of the Dead, which means you get a bunch of dice back. So, but I've got a life of 2 here, so if you just attack into this, if I don't attack back, we kill each other.
No worries, Alan. Yeah, we're happy to answer questions. That's part of what's great about being live.
What a question here. All right, so I'm going to go with a Crystal Shielder. I'm going to build for the future. So I'm going to do a leaf and a basic. I'm going to have to waste a frog on that. I now have life +2, and I have unit guard. So I can now block for my other units. And I also have skin morph 2, so I add 2 if it has an alteration attached. So this boy is currently at 6 health. Don't you poison me.
He's got to go.
And it's over to you. So I can block for that bear. But it's gorgeous. I mean, that's the thing. You just like, you're looking at it. It's like, what? It's so pretty.
Just so pretty.
Somebody said Pan's Labyrinth. I think that's it. That's accurate. It's kind of a Disney Pan's Labyrinth, Last Airbender. It's more fantastical fantasy. Let's say that.
Fantastical fantasy.
Fantastical fantasy. Put the face on the webpage. It's done. Yeah, Sam, we're up to 1250. It's unbelievable. Jeffrey knew we haven't done any deck building. We're just going to play a bunch of precons, and then in a couple of weeks we'll start deck building and probably have the 1.5 rules, try to get some updated cards in and see what's going on.
No. You have those.
Nope.
But you could action to get rid of him, so that's a problem. Let's use him.
So I only have one die, though.
Oh.
Keep this in mind. This is the conundrum I was in.
You can do one.
I can do one damage, yeah, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, Corbin. It's not as dark as Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's is pretty dark. And those wondering, so Fernanda was the original artist on this game. She left before the last few expansions actually got printed for 1.0. And the art style has been continued. Same with the graphic style with Dave. Same, it's all been continued. So the game will look the same as it moves forward.
Yeah, we'll swing at Ren with my Dread Wraith for 2. He's at +6?
He's got 6 health total.
6 total.
You said you wanted it on total on the status token.
I was tracking the mods, but that's fine.
Would you like for me to do it differently?
What makes most sense to you?
6
is fine by me.
I would just do the 2 for basically the skin morph ability. So it's like 2, 2, 2. But if you want to just total up 6, that's the way we were doing it.
I was saying your modifiers are on there. Basically, we see the printed life of 2, and the tokens represent what's not there.
I can do that. You want to do that?
I'm into that, yeah.
You're the only one that has to care about it. Okay. So he was currently a +4. So you're swinging for 2.
Yeah, just clawing my way back into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
How about this Dread Wraith, though?
Dread Wraiths are good.
They're cool.
Dread Wraiths are really good.
I'm excited to get to the deck building.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of decks to go through before then, but man, am I excited about it.
Don't we? All right, so what's my best? Let's see about the best exchange here. Dread Wraith. I think I blocked the Dread Wraith. I'm blocking.
Okay. I will exhaust and do 2 damage to you.
All right, taking 2. I'm not going to exhaust back.
Your turn.
Mm-hmm. If I attack, you block with a bomber. You get your Chant of the Dead going. No. Summon Ice Golem. Focus 1. On focus 2, I can remove 1 wound token from all Ice Golems I control when I cast.
Nice.
So that's good.
Pass.
Passing, eh? We find ourselves at a bit of a standstill, do we not?
Indeed.
You're holding on to 2 cards. They're probably pretty usable if you get that chant going, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
But I've got a frog here.
What up, Sheridan? Ubi did well. Zach's a bad influence. I just bought in.
All right.
You won't regret it. It's also like incredibly affordable. It's one of the most affordable. Non-collectible card games are, we talk about it on the podcast a lot this past week, are probably the most experience you can get out of a card game for the least amount of money for people buying it. Which is why players love them.
Yeah, Mikhail, you're right. Dave Richards knocked this one completely out of the park.
Yeah, he dunked it. He dunked on this one.
Oh, I'm going to pass too, man.
Right.
I'm fine with this.
Picture this.
I'm fine with this. remove everything. So we have recover values. I have no recover on the board. Do you have any recovers? No. So recover, if you see in the bottom, like let's pull up Ice Golem. Has a recover 0 in the bottom right. That tells you how much damage you remove at the end of the turn. So some units have like 4 health and recover 3, which means that if you don't kill them that turn, they come back full health.
Anything?
No. Get some more preemptive towels. It's that kind of a stream. All right, I'm rolling. Switch all these to frogs while Zach's not here. All right, we got 4 frogs, so 4 of the biggest symbol, 1 out of 6. That's a very good roll. We've got 3 leaves, and we've got 3 basics. I do feel more like a wizard playing this game than I do in any other game that I've played, including Magic. The tapping of lands kind of feels weird, but playing actual spell books out and searching my conjuration pile for spells, I feel like I'm like having a wizard fight. You know, you guys ever see that? I think it was in the old Hobbit animated movie, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Gandalf was fighting something else, and they were just doing wizard stuff where like one of the wizards would like turn into like an owl and fly into the other one, and then that one would turn into like a tree, and it was like this weird like wizard outsmarting fight. That's kind of how it feels. It's really cool. Jason asking, do I know waving hands? I don't know. I don't think so. Blake, this is a great question that I really wanted to know myself. Sword in the Stone, you guys are totally right, yeah. Blake said, is there a good reason why most cards don't have art that's stretched across the whole card? The cards are simply striking to look at. I don't know how Ashes was able to do it. It's probably because they pull the graphic design in so much, but generally cards need a dead space, because when they go into printing, there's some bleed that happens, and you kind of have to like line it up so that your art doesn't get chopped. So they clearly found a way to do it. I don't know why all other games don't do it like that. Maybe if you have the black border, it's cheaper or something. It's hard to say. I honestly just don't know. Yeah, you guys are on it. It's Sword in the Stone, yeah. Corbin, yeah. So it's 3 basics, 2 middle, 1 big. So I've got 3 of this basic symbol, 2 of the leaf, and 1 of the frog, which is pretty nice. And then Zach's going to have the first action, which is a bummer. Yeah, so Tim Root, thank you. That makes sense. In printing, it used to be more expensive to have a bleed all the way to the edge. Maybe that's the case here, too. Nathan, what's going on? Nathan, missed your Fab stream yesterday in favor of actually playing Fab. I feel like the game clicked on a new level. Hold on, this is important. Played a blitz game where my opponent went through his whole deck. Nathan, Zach and I literally cracked the code on the stream. I don't know what it is. Maybe we've been playing the same amount of time, but it completely revolutionized. Like, we were playing on a totally different level, and it felt like we actually knew what we were doing, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, cool, Kaya. So Kaya's saying black borders are actually just a collectible thing to prove there's no wear on the card and keep the value of mint condition cards high. That's interesting. You would think Ashes just has a white bleed, but like look at Ice Buff, for instance. There's no bleed happening. That's a full art piece that is all the way to the edge. Ice Buff.
Did I miss anything?
Production's asleep, I can tell you that. That's what you're missing. No. Yeah, Blake, we were in the zone with FAB yesterday.
We definitely were.
So you've got the first player. You're the first player token.
Hold on, let me roll these in.
Yeah, I got nothing but frogs on mine.
I'm sure you did. You did get a lot of frogs.
They told you, stream would tell you. I was lying.
What'd you pay them?
Nothing. I can't pay that for.
Cash out me outside.
That's a deep Lebowski joke, actually. I can't pay that for.
All right. I go first, eh?
Yep. I need to draw my cards.
Oh, you don't recover?
No, I have no recover. I'm ice.
That's good to know.
Some would say that ice is the best recovery of all. It's literally just more water.
Well, they help others recover, take an ice bath. Let's play another Chant of the Dead. Shan't we? And then...
Oh my. I figured out what I'm supposed to be doing. Attaching the spell.
Let's... not do a side action. So
Okay.
I just played Chant of the Dead.
Chant of the Dead. Done. Okay.
It'd be good.
It be good. Well,
Kai said, we didn't even have to make it to 300 subscriptions. He just promised us all boxes and a road trip. You heard it here first.
the bear is going to attack that Dread Wraith.
Nah.
It's going to have the freeze 1 ability.
Don't
But
do
you
that.
can put Brennan in front of it if you like.
And take 3?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it.
I'll take 2. Only 2. 3 technically, yes. 3.
See.
And then side action, let's do 1 of the bomber there. Using natural magic.
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 Okay, mine.
Mm.
I'm at 12 out of 20. 8 health left. Game on the line.
It's all coming down to this, folks.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Let me think about this. This is complicated.
This just goes focuses, right?
What?
It's the same spell. You just focus it like you do with Summon Dread Wraith. Yeah. Duh.
Duh, dude. Dude. That's pretty funny. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Blood chains.
Ugh.
Action and a knife.
I got 1 action and 1
Choose a
knife.
unit I
Let's see what
control
happens.
and destroy it.
Good.
Let's
Excellent.
actually destroy
Oh, the Dread. Yeah. Get that Dread Wraith out of here. Yeah.
Dread Wraith. No,
Yeah.
we'll go here.
Yeah.
And it says, place X exhaustion tokens on a target unit. X is the chosen unit's life value minus the number of wounds they had. So we have 1 wound, 2 life. So I'll put an exhaustion here. Is what's happening. I sacrifice my own dude and I bind you up.
Thanks. The blood change. Hey, yeah, you guys are right. I was totally wrong about this. I didn't realize this. There's only 2 basics.
2.
There's 3 in the middle.
mid-tier.
Yeah. What was this? Basic? Yeah. That's weird. I would have expected it to be 3 basic, 2 middle, 1 main. Huh.
What up, Jason? Glad you're digging it.
Yeah, Jason, hey, good to see you. I saw some of your comments on Facebook, too. I appreciate that. YouTube, maybe.
You know, one of those places.
And does chant trigger when you want it, or just whenever?
On my turn, I can use it when I want it.
Okay.
And I get 3 dice back.
Not even a side action or anything?
Nope.
I guarantee you that's changing. 100%. What?
At least you have to do it on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
See ya, DA.
I see no reason to play your game.
Playing your love games with me.
Frostbite. Cost me a basic because it's focus 1. 1 damage to your Phoenixborn.
Okay. What about side action?
No side action. I'm here forever, man. You're in the driver's seat, buddy.
All right. I can deliver on that, promise. Let's go. Crimson Bomber. It cost me 2 knives and an action. And then
More of this stupid thing?
it's your turn.
You don't want to blow it up right away?
Nope. I'm going to swing for 3
It's
when
really
you don't
not-
have any blockers.
It's really not very good against this this setup. I have beefier stuff. Really? Yeah, you're not swinging for 3 because here comes Dad. Let's summon an ice golem. It's going to cost me 2 leaves and a basic. And then I'll just side action ice buff while we're here. From Rin.
Blake says, I feel like an idiot. I already made 2 separate orders on Plaid Hat, and I still haven't bought Rin. I should have just done it.
That's true. You're not an idiot, though. But yes, you should have done that. People are too hard on themselves.
You got big old things.
I know, dude. Who's laughing now?
Mine?
You would have destroyed that last deck I played. It was all 1 health stuff.
Let's spend 3 and an action. Get my buddy in here.
Mm-hmm. Not your buddy, pal. Kaya's hand Rin
dude.
completely destroyed when he debuted. So I can understand why. There's a lot of control here. So you're full up. You're done.
I mean, in a certain light.
You got that Chant of the Dead loaded up, don't you?
Sure do.
You think you got something special?
Get me $3 back.
Huh.
I got all sorts of tricks.
Oh, man.
This is my turn.
You wish you knew how many tricks there were in this game. Let's Frostbite. 1 basic. Burn you down.
Okay. Cool. I see. Cool.
Yeah, the bears were everywhere, Kaya. It's crazy.
All right. Scrunch this up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you do have about it. I thought you said 3 earlier. But
I'm going to use Chant of the Dead. Get 3 dice back, size of my choice. It's goat time. Should I go time? That's funny. Play a Black Cloud Ninja.
I'm hilarious.
2 basics and a goat. Technically a knife. Seal Strike 1. When it comes into play, I can spend a basic. I will. Put an exhaustion token on a target ready unit or spell. That one.
You keep taking the bear out, man.
I ain't got no bears.
I ain't got no bears. We're gonna have to work through this now. Okay. How about some of this?
Picture this.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Rin's Fury. It's my ultimate.
Cancel it.
Spend 3 basics. Select up to 5 dice in my exhausted pool. We'll select the frogs, doesn't matter. Re-roll them, place them in my active pool, and I can spend any number of frogs to immediately deal that much damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn.
Well, I hope you missed.
That dramatic chipmunk, huh?
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, 1 frog that I can spin immediately. Well, that's not really that helpful, is it? Let's spin an immediate frog on 1 damage to your Phoenixborn.
You can't do that.
Who's burning now?
Frogs don't do damage to Phoenixborn.
Says it on the card. That much damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn.
That's no fun.
I just wanted to clean up those tokens.
All right. Fine.
5 left.
I'm about to get rocked.
Here we go. Hey, Bryce, thanks so much. Bryce Christian, you guys are killing it with your podcast and innovating how retailers work in the board and card game space. Thank you. Thank you. We've been working on that exact problem for a decade plus. It's just insane to think about that. We were just some young kids.
Some young kiddies.
Just trying to make our way. It seems to have really turned over this year, which is weird because
it's a weird year.
Yeah, because there's just nothing but disease everywhere. So, don't know what that says about us.
Okay. Let's.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about that.
That doesn't matter, right? Yeah, exhausted, not exhausted.
Let's exhaust here and do 2 damage.
What? You have an ability or something?
Exhaust.
Shadow Strike?
Action, deal 2 damage to a target unit.
Which one?
This one. I got you.
Thanks. Little pile there.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I currently have 3 life left. All right. How about some of this? Rinse Fury again.
Oh.
Here comes 5 dice.
Could be 5 frogs. Game over.
It's officially 2 frogs. 2 frogs don't bother me. You got another Wraith that can come in, huh? Bummer. So should I just try to burn you out here? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 next turn. Got to sneak through 1. Let's blow up that Crimson Bomber.
Whoosh. Token.
And then side action. I'm going Super Saiyan, man. No side action. Passing it over.
Okay. I'll use a side action. Exhaust. Destroy here. Do 2 to your Phoenixborn.
2 can play at this game, eh?
Get a 3rd token.
Well, tit for tat.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Do.
Take care, Gustav. Danny says you're not looking happy.
It's intense. Sure. I'll swing for 2 at your red.
Taking it. 1 and 9.
You're up.
You're up.
Me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this ice golem, shall we? Let me look at that. So that's 3 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. I'm going to deep freeze that Wraith.
Get out of town. Let's see what this does.
So it's super fun. It's really quite cool.
Attaching the spell, place 3 status tokens on the spell. Discard the spell when it no longer has any status tokens on it. As long as the spell is attached to this unit is considered to be exhausted. This unit now has the following ability. Thaw. Side action. Remove a status token from a deep freeze. All right. So it's got 3 on it.
Yep. Alan Jones got a question for you. Can you go over really fast the top and second symbol present on the different schools of magic and what they are? I think it may help get people pumped.
Yeah, so
for subs.
Ceremonial is a goat and a knife, and the goat allows you to, that's what I'm using, get an ally from your discard pile. You have to do their attack damage to yourself to get that back using that. Then you have yours, which
Nature
is
Magic, frogs and leaves, and the frog ability is a side action. Spend a frog, deal the damage to a unit. So a little unit control, unit recursion for you.
Charm is pink, and it's got hearts and snakes. So the hearts don't do anything necessarily, but the snakes, you can spend it to place it on a unit, and they get +1 life and +1 attack value for the rest of the turn. So you charm them, make them stronger. And the last is illusion. In 1.0, you could spend an illusion, which is a wolf and a mask. So the wolf allows you to, in the 1.0, remove one of your opponent's dice. In 2.0, it allows you to change 2 of their dice to sides of your choice.
I think it's lower. I think they just go 1 down.
1 down, that's
So
right.
you can change the big one to the second one. You can change the second one to the basic. And then we've got Divine Magic also, which does, it's similar to Charm. It's like the opposite of Charm. you put the Divine Lion on something as a side action, and then when it would take damage, you can prevent 2 of it by removing the die. So it's basically a shield as opposed to an attack like the nature die. And then Sympathy Magic is weird, right? Isn't it a draw a card or something? Do we have the card somewhere?
It's somewhere buried in the deck. It's in here. I didn't pull it out.
Gross. Hold on, I can go read it. I can see it right there.
I think it's draw 1, put 1 on top of your bottom of your deck. I almost died.
Draw 1, put 1. Draw 1, place 1, yeah, on the bottom. So a little filter.
Yeah, so it's draw 1, put 1 on the bottom of the deck if you didn't hear it in the mic. All right, well, side action, we'll thaw.
Thaw out.
How about that? Then I'll pass.
Okay. Swing at your Phoenixborn for 3.
Take it.
Next turn, you're done.
Mine?
Yeah.
Let's thaw. As my side action.
I love Infinity You're Done Bacon, just as an idea. I mean, it's so good. The system is good. I'm a big fan of the system, but it is a little chunky. All right, passing, huh? So you're gonna thaw out this next turn.
Unless you pass.
But why would I?
Because I have 2 health left. And you get to be first player next round.
That's a good reason. I'll pass.
Immediately. That. So we unexhaust. See if you can get it done.
Hope you don't have any healing or anything.
These are nice. Yeah, because I have a mega turn coming.
I'm gonna leave the leaves, yeah. Leaf, leaf, leaf. Basic, basic, basic. Okay, well, my first action is Frostbite. 1 to your Phoenixborn.
Now, you could also just attack with all 3 of your units.
Onto your thing.
I have 2 blockers.
3, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what
So
you do.
win.
Right? Yeah.
Whoosh.
Attack them all.
Brennan gone. Here's this.
See you later.
Yeah, the controlling elements of your deck seem really good.
They are really good. I'll bet Rin's deck might get a few changes in Reborn.
1.5.
If you know what I mean.
But Brennan's cool too. I really like the
I do remember
Dread Wraiths.
Yeah, Kaya was saying that I think it felt like Brennan was outmatched in the brother matchup. They're brothers, right, or something? Or is there something weird about them? Are they like
I don't know.
Connected in any way?
Does anyone know
Gage, I have not considered it.
After Brennan and Rin, which Phoenixborn will release next? I'd like to try.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The next series. I'm gonna go get some more water.
Yeah, grab one. No. Yeah, Gunchi, there were a lot of tokens. We didn't need all those status tokens, technically. It just makes it easier. A little bit easier, yeah. Leo and Vicky, cool. Okay, we can play against. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we'll just take a little tour through the history of Ashes here. Okay, so Leo and Victoria. There's Victoria. And Isaac did all the art direction for this game. Wait, Leo Sunshadow, right? Where did Leo end up? Did we play Leo last time? Oh, there he is. Cool. Cool character design. Yeah, Isaac did all the art direction and whatnot. Yeah, there are some playmats for this. I'm not sure where those are. What's up, Alex? Have they talked about 1.5 more or just started playing games? Yeah, nothing fancy about Reborn. It's happened. We got about 1,200 folks that are ready to go on this thing. It's moving forward from, which one do you want? From the Plaid Hat side? And
I want to try both of these. but I'll let you pick first.
Okay.
You got a favorite?
Oh, no. I'll play Victoria. Seems fun. Yeah, Birdman, right?
Does anyone know Leo's starting 5?
Let's just figure it out. What do you think? Just fail.
Summon Orchid Dove, probably. Summon Nightshade Shallow. He is the Birdman.
Birdman!
Memory theft seems correct.
All right, so let's see what I need. I need wolves, 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 illusion, 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 illusion. I think these are all illusion.
I remember this guy. Remember the Glowfinch?
Yeah, it's just birds, right? It's just birds.
Look at the birds.
Woof, they're gorgeous, though.
Orchid Dove. Nightshade.
Yeah, all
Swallow.
illusion for me. So let me get these guys. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, mine's probably Charms to the max.
I bet I want a Shadow Spirit, a Shadow Hound. Now, here's a question. Ooh, cool. Secret Door might be fun. 2 Shadows. Choose a target unit to gain the following ability. If this unit receives damage... Oh my. Hello. On a side of your choice, shuffle that into your discard. Okay, cycle. Let's do that one. So Victoria brought in a lot of... She's a canceller, dude. Gross.
Disappoint.
Gross. Let's get some units in. Ooh, a Shadow Hound.
Look at this Beast Tamer.
Conjuration, Conjuration. Okay, and then these are my allies. Okay, so I probably want an ally.
Grant says, haha, Steven's lukewarm reaction to the potentially the most broken card in Ashes.
Vanish? Yeah, horrible. We'll see what happens to that one. Okay, summon, 2 shadows. I hate cancels in games so much. It's literally just like #1. Don't ever do it. Just don't ever do it. It's not fun. Tell me how it ever is fun. Only for sociopaths.
And serial killers. Grant says that her signature is the card he's talking about.
Okay, good. The cancel isn't good. Well, that's fine.
What's got our face on it?
Let's find out. Where do the faces live? Oh, there it is. Illusionary cycle, yeah. Select an illusion die in your exhausted pool. Place it in your active pool on a side of your choice. Shuffle it into your draw pile. Okay, I'll do it. I just don't know that it'd be good first turn. I don't know what my ultimate curve is, you know? Might not need the extra die.
Ike says reaction spells are great. Well, this might not. 1.5 Reborn might not be the thing.
I mean, reaction spells are going to exist still for sure, but I'm talking about cancels specifically. Things that the only thing that they do is cancel what your opponent is trying to do. Yeah. That necessarily means that the cards in your deck are stronger than your opponent's cards every time, right? Or the vice versa. It means that their cards are necessarily stronger than yours because a cancel is only as good as the card that it's canceling. And worse, because it's only usable in that one context, whereas the other card is usable in an active context. I just don't like it. When have you ever canceled something and thought, how great of a player am I? When have you ever had something canceled and thought, that was fun. I'm glad that I didn't get to do the thing that I decided I wanted to do with my deck.
I mean, there's a distinct line between me presenting threats and dealing with you with the core mechanics of the game, and me just preventing you from doing what you wanted, like doing anything.
Right.
That's the problem I have with Mill and Destiny.
Cancels, they introduced Mill.
It was
it's a stall tactic.
It was literally like, I'm going to remove your dice and not let you do anything. That's what I'm doing. And like, that's just not fun to me.
Nathan, yeah. Nathan, I hear, if my opponent's having fun, then I didn't do my job correctly. Spoken like a true Thrones player, man. Cancels. Wait, how is that fun? Cancels?
I don't like it, but, for each their own, I guess. Are you ready to roll?
Yes.
I'm going in blind. Like a kamikaze.
Here we go.
I love these pink dice. 5 basics.
1, 2. I changed that one again. 6 basics.
Somehow, Palpatine is returned.
I haven't even seen the movie, and I know it's absurd.
Oh, that line still kills me. I said it jokingly, but it murders my soul.
It just really causes some problems for you, doesn't it? Somehow Palpatine is returned. It's like, shouldn't be the whole point of the arc is like this exact moment?
I know what we can do. Instead of solving how do we defeat the unconquerable evil,
somehow.
Let's go on a MacGuffin chase that leads us to the next MacGuffin. And the next MacGuffin. It's episode 9, by the way, in
What's
case
that
you're
MacGuffin
confused.
word come from? What is that all about? Is that like a known term?
Yeah, it's a film term. So basically, like, if you have...
Oh, you sound smart now.
Well, I'm about to sound a lot less smart. But if you have an item or something that the main characters are trying to find, and that is the thing that drives forward the plot.
Right, okay.
That's called a MacGuffin. So, like, a lot of times the MacGuffin is actually not that important.
Okay. Like in National Treasure, it's the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Sure. MacGuffin's everywhere. Like that, it's not a character motivation that's pushing things forward. Like Knives Out is total character motivation.
Right.
Everything that happens is less about the fact that they're searching for a thing, and more that it's like Marta has a mom who's an illegal immigrant, and like she helped this old guy do his thing.
Right.
So like it's like, anyways, you get the idea. So in that movie, it's
from the Maltese Falcon. Because Chat's geniuses.
Hey, between us and everyone watching, we can solve all problems. I swear.
Like the gold shiny thing in Pulp Fiction. Okay, far out. Yeah. I'm with it. All right. I've been every voice you've ever heard.
That was a great preview.
Hey, are we gonna drink this champagne or what?
I don't have it. Have you had too much of it? You just got to keep doing it.
What is it, 18%?
Man, we are
17%?
doing some damage.
It's only 12%.
And who knows how much of it came out of the bottle.
I had more than a bottle of 12% this morning.
What?
You didn't know that? I start with 6 shots of bourbon every day. It's what keeps me fresh. I find it's the secret to writing good marketing emails.
Drinking? Jason says, what's the occasion
drinking.
for the champagne? The occasion is that Ashes is coming back. We hit the goal. We got past the goal in 3 days. So it's a cheers to everyone involved for making this a possibility, from Plaid Hat all the way to all the players signing up. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers to you one more time. Nailed it. Sandro, I want to drink champagne.
Yeah, you're just going to buy it.
But yes, it's a MacGuffin full movie, which means it has nothing to do with characters or motivations, which is unfortunate in the 3rd movie of a trilogy.
I've been willing to say the whole thing is absolute garbage. Okay, Flash Archer.
Rumors they're going to erase it.
Yeah, I heard those rumors, but
not true.
You know that's not happening. They didn't touch episode 1. They're not touching
Just
the
moving
sequels.
on.
Hold on. Can I start? Do they have to be different cards in your first 5?
What up,
don't
Danny?
They have to be different cards in your first 5, yeah.
Otherwise, you could focus up a spell real quick.
That's what I wanted to do. Nathan, if I literally drank 6 shots of bourbon every morning, that's what would make me run Spycraft in Marvel Champions. Because as we know, alcohol clouds the judgment. It's really, you really got to pay attention. It can be a very dangerous drug there. Okay. All right, so I'm going first, and I'm going to think about what I'm trying to do.
Philip, I loved Mandalorian. I thought Mandalorian was great. So was the last season of Clone Wars.
Hey, how about some pressure? You want some pressure? Hey, kid, how about a Flash Archer? I love this unit. Absolute fundamentals. Cost me 4 dice to play. Has 4 attack. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then I can spend a side action and exhaust it to deal 2 damage to a thing.
But it does 4.
I can either, if you don't block anything, I'm doing 4 straight to Leo's face.
Beautiful card, too.
Beautiful card.
Beautiful.
Beautiful card, beautiful card.
Beautiful.
Eyes as big as Jolly Ranchers. That's from DJ Shadow. There's probably one person watching that has ever heard that before. And for you,
it was hilarious.
I'm sure that you really were like, how did he know? Somebody I'm watching randomly on the internet knows this song, Why Hip Hop Sucks, in 92, I think, from DJ Shadow. It's the money. 5 girls. Eyes as big as Jolly Ranchers.
I like that. All right, found my plan. Action, I'm going to play Summon Nightshade Swallow. Side action.
I'm not going to pay attention to what the birds do until it happens.
Oh, let's see what the Glowfinch does. So Leo's side action is Summon Glowfinch. He has a spell board of 3, a battlefield of 6. Exhaust 1 resource, place a Glowfinch conjuration onto your battlefield. Glowfinch says, unit guard. This unit may guard a unit that is being attacked. Decoy, when a unit you control become the target of a spell, ability, or dice power, and this unit could have been chosen as the target, you may place an exhaustion token on this unit to change the chosen target to this unit instead.
So the Glowfinch is a big sponge.
We're going to keep going. Last
it prevents
request
spells,
1.
it prevents damage, it prevents...
When this unit is destroyed, discard a card off the top of a player's draw pile.
Oh, I remember this was in the Owl matchup.
Magic Rejuvenation, side action, remove an alteration spell attached to this unit from the game. If you do, remove all exhaustion tokens from it.
I'm going to hate this one.
Side action, exhaust, basic, Glowfinch.
Here's the Finch. So I could exhaust the archer to deal 2 damage to it and get it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could attack, you block, and get it out of here.
Good point, John Tucker says, where, except for here, can you get your gaming fix? Conversations about country music and a throwback to 90s hip-hop. It's very... We're defining our audience here.
There's a couple of folks here that are familiar with DJ Shadow there. Introducing is the album, guys. That's not even a question. Alan, no, an exhausted unit cannot attack. For all intents and purposes, exhaustion is what you would expect a tap to be. The reason that you do it with tokens, which is really fascinating, is that you can actually pile on like 20 exhaustion tokens, like Star Wars LCG, and that unit is basically, 5 turns, covered up, focus token plus.
Bye, Felicia.
Done.
Here's what I want to know to everyone in chat. Serious question time. Star Wars. Sequels. 7, 8, 9.
Sequels.
List 3 numbers in chat, which is your rating from 1 to 10 for each of those movies. So, you could be like a 9, a 9, and then a 0. My ratings would be...
Does 0 mean 10 or 0?
0 means 0.
Okay.
So my ratings would be...
Is 0 literally just like should not ever be watched in the history of humankind? Because that's what a 0 is.
I wish I could unwatch 9.
Wow. Well, I won't be watching it.
Yeah, I'm like a 7.5, an 8.5, and a 0. That's where I'm at. For 7, 8, and 9. Divided by 0. Gratuitous says 783. Gimmicker 110. Chris 671. 824.
824. So, why does this card have so much text on it?
I know.
So all you need to know is when you kill it, I discard a card. It can block spells and attacks.
These are fascinating number pairings.
To this unit from the game, if you do, okay.
Here's what I can tell you. There's some people that love 8, some people that don't, but everyone doesn't like 9.
Okay, good. Well, that tells me everything I need to know. All right, I'm going to play Illusionary Cycle here. Select an illusion die in my exhausted pool, turn it to any side that I want. I'm going to bring in a wolf.
Wow, this art's cool.
And then I shuffle that back into my draw pile. Now, so I've figured out Victoria is all about selecting dice in your exhausted pool and putting them back into your active pool. So she's going to be the game breaker.
I never noticed she has 2 different colored eyes. Did you pick up on that?
What?
Her eyes are different colors.
Oh, no, I didn't.
It's very cool.
652 from Volantria, that's appropriate. 773 for Corbin. All right. We're all on the same page here, everybody. Alan didn't hate 7 or 9 nearly as much as you do.
When you go back up and look at the numbers, it's like there's a distinct difference between opinions on 8.
Yeah.
It's divisive, unquestionably.
Yeah. It's divisive.
But 9 is not even divisive.
Yeah.
The best I saw was a 4.
It's just not good there. Yeah, well, it's not good. Tails all this time, though, isn't it?
What are you doing?
That's all. I shuffled the die back in.
Okay. Mine, action, 2 hearts, 1 soul. We're going to play a Nightshade Swallow. Death Strike. When this unit deals 1 or more damage to a unit it is attacking or countering, destroy the unit that received damage.
Just got poison, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I've been waiting for this. Flash Arch, you're going to use Double Shot as a side action. Deal 1 damage to target unit, deal 1 damage to target unit.
Okay.
Can you maybe block it with this? When a unit would become the target of a spell, ability, or dice power, you can make this happen instead.
I'll guard it with my Finch.
Okay, and then I'll discard 1 off the top because the Finch died.
Yep.
So he gets 1 protection bird every turn, basically.
1 protect.
You gotta kill those protection birds. So now my main action, let's do a Shadow Hound. Summon Shadow Hound here.
Okay, I'm gonna play a Beast Tamer.
Whoa, beautiful art.
Action,
oh my.
Snake, Heart, Basic.
I don't even care what's happening. And sometimes that's really good in the game, sometimes it's awful.
It's how I felt about Miller CCG.
This is the really good one.
I don't care what exactly is happening, I'm just glad it is.
I can really enjoy this game without worrying about it. Rebecca, you are killing it on these ratings.
No, that's not what you think it is. So she's saying it's 7's an 8, 8's an 8.5, and 9's a 0, which is in line with me. That's about how I feel.
Right. 8? None of those movies are 8s. Listen, like Knives Out is like an 8.5 to a 9, and it's a masterpiece of a movie. Blade Runner 2049, 9.
It depends on your rating system, I suppose. So like my favorite movies are 10s. That's the scale I'm using.
You're boxing yourself in, man. It's like people that only have like 3, like Marvel Champions. You only have 1, 2, or 3 on your defense.
I'm not boxing myself in because the best movie I've ever seen is a 10.
What is that movie?
Depends on what category you want, but like Empire Strikes Back is a 10 for me.
Okay.
Some people would only ever be like, the best movie I have is a 9, just to leave space for something else at the 10 range.
You have to leave space for a 10.
But like anything I would consider like Blade Runner 2049 is in the 10 category for me.
Okay.
Mr. Nobody is in the 10 category.
So it contains a lot of different.
It's the movies that I look at and I say, as a movie and as something I prefer watching, there's nothing about this that like I would even feel comfortable touching.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Beast Tamer. After an opponent has declared attackers, you can spend a basic to reduce the attack value of each attacking unit by 1. That's pretty cool.
Big Lebowski, pretty close to a 10. If I had to pick one.
For that genre of movie, whatever that genre is.
I just don't even know what to touch about it, right? It just is what it is.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the one thing I would change about Big Lebowski, my friend Joey brought this up to me. There's only one time in the movie that the perspective shifts from the characters you're familiar with to random scene, and that is when Bunny is driving the car and it zooms in to her foot, showing the missing toe. Aside from that, it's all from the perspective of the main characters, which is pretty fascinating, isn't it? What does this Shadow Hound do? Oh. Oh, wow. This is so cool. All right, here comes the Hound. Bring in the Hounds. Those laughing.
Brett, this is Perry. Says the only thing I changed about Big Lebowski is making it so that it starts again as soon as it's over.
Just get the DVD. This is cool. This is cool. I totally understand. So she summons a bunch of shadowy stuff, and the thing about the shadow stuff is it's strong, but if it ever takes damage, it's destroyed.
It disappears.
So it kind of gets rid of your dumb poison stuff.
Glad these released together.
Yeah, right?
The topic for this week's podcast, how to win a game.
I'm going to play well, I'm wide open. I got to get some stuff on the board here. Gross. 2 life, 3 life, cover 2. All right, Shadowhound coming in. It's going to cost me an exhaustion here and 3 masks, so I'm going to have to use this wolf, unfortunately. And when it's focus 1, I can deal a damage, and when it's focus 2, I can deal another damage. So that's going to be some sick moves.
It's creepy art.
Yeah, it's spin down. Dusty, it's spin down. So the new illusion die spins him down 1 rank.
Okay, I'll play Summon Orchid Dove as my action. No side actions. Ed the Mad asking, how does focus work? So focus is when you play, like, have multiple copies of a spell. If I drew another Summon Orchid Dove as an example, I could attach it here. That's 2 separate spells I can use, but it's also both of them are counted as focused one. Cilantro, spin down is where you take a die from its highest, whatever side it's on, and lower it one layer. So if you pull up the Charm Magic card, you'll see it's Snake Heart Basic. So you could turn a snake to a heart or a heart to a basic.
Taking a side action for Victoria Glassfire here. Discarding 1 card off the top of the deck. Nope, that's not how you do it. I'm not doing that at all. I'm going to meditate twice. No, I'm going to meditate once to change this up as a side action.
Totally fair. Lobbin saying, which was worse, episode 9 or season 8 of Game of Thrones? Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
That's such a disaster that it's hard to imagine anything that could be worse than that.
It is painful to my soul that 9 and episode or season 8 of Game of Thrones, and my 2 favorite characters from those series, which is Kylo and Daenerys, just got.
Hold on a second.
2019 was bad.
Your Done Bacon just said Knives Out was not a good movie. That's just hard. That's hard.
Well, we obviously have very different opinions.
That's just hard.
What a good movie is.
But as somebody who believes in objective truth, anyway, over to you. That hurts.
I can feel it in your soul.
That hurts. And Grant, it wasn't a good movie. It was a great movie.
That's so funny. I'm going to play Memory Theft. It goes on the spell board. I can use a heart and exhaust it, and then you either have to discard a card from your hand or take a damage on your Phoenixborn.
Can I choose to discard a card if I have no cards to discard?
No. Just saying. No.
As if you knew. Okay.
James says, LOL, y'all look like you were about to cancel the stream to account for this insult.
Not wrong at all.
Yeah, 2019, from a movie fiction standpoint, is pretty rough for me. Although, Avengers Endgame delivered.
You got that stupid dove coming in. What does that orchid dove do? Is that the... What's that orchid dove up to? What's that orchid dove up to?
I can't... You don't get to know that. It's a secret.
Show me your spell book already.
Just kidding. Orchid dove is 1 attack, 1 life. It has a peaceful melody, which is inexhaustible. Your opponent can't take an attack, a Phoenixborn main action, or attack a unit main action. During the turn, your opponent can spend a resource. If they do, all units are no longer considered to have peaceful melody ability for the remainder of the turn.
So it's a drain. So before that comes out, Shadow Hound is going to attack your Beast Tamer.
For 3?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Beast Tamer, diminish 1 after an opponent has declared attackers. I can spend a resource to reduce the attack value of each attacking unit by 1 for the remainder of this turn. Do you want to rethink your life?
Yeah.
Dang it, I've been had.
All right, so we'll start out with Victoria Glassfire's side action. Spin a wolf, bring 2 dice back in as whatever side they want. So she spins 1 wolf to make 2 wolves. It's what
good math.
That always looks like. Although technically you could bring them in from different factions.
What does that?
Which would be sick. Her Victoria Glassfire's ability here.
And you weren't already exhausted?
Spring. No, it was not.
Okay.
So then my main action, play the Summon Shadow Spirit spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit the Banyo.
I'm going to hang out and talk movies with my friends.
Yeah, please do.
Gimmicker saying Ryan Johnson should be banned from making movies after episode 8. I disagree. I loved 8. But one thing I feel like is the case with Star Wars, there's a reason they're having so much trouble, which is I think they're really nervous about spending $4 billion on something and failing. And so what happens is they probably have a bunch of committees that a lot of this stuff has to go through. And you can see it in all of Ryan Johnson's work. If you watch his movies, in my opinion, they're really well done. They're kind of art house, and he has his own style and vibe that he's doing. And you can see that coming through in episode 8. But I also get a sense that you're seeing that movie by committee coming through as well. It's even why 9 turned out like it did, in my opinion, which is like it felt like they had a checklist, episode 9 for Star Wars, of here's everything people were upset about of 8. We're going to do all that. Here's everything that we can kind of put a period on the end of the sentence from the rest of the series. Put that in the movie. They were just trying to make people happy, and they weren't really just trying to make a movie or understand why they were making it, which is going to make it just kind of feel like a fan service commercial thing. Mark's saying Brick is awesome. Yeah, Brick's good.
Brick was phenomenal as well, yes. Brick was absolutely phenomenal.
All right, my action, right?
Yep. This is what games are about, really. Having a good time. Brick was so good. I can't believe Knives Out. It was so theatrical. Like the stage, the way that it was shot was just unbelievably good.
I also like.
Can you put this down here also?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt a lot.
Oh, of course, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play Anguish.
No.
It's an action, and too bad like this. That's how you look right there.
Yeah, I think I understand that one.
This is a signature card. It says choose a target Phoenixborn. That'd be you. Its controlling player may discard a card at random from their hand. If they do not or cannot, place 2 wound tokens on that Phoenixborn. But we're not done yet.
You're a discard guy?
Then choose a target Phoenixborn. You. Its controlling player may move 2 dice of your choice from their active pool to their exhausted pool. If they do not or cannot, place 2 wound tokens on that Phoenixborn.
So I get to do this? Basically, I get to either move 2 dice. I lose 2 dice or I lose 2 health.
2 dice of my choice. So either you move those here or you take 2 damage. Read it. Yeah, Dan saying, wow, the colors on this board are beautiful. It is a beautiful game.
Controlling player may move 2 dice of your choice from their active pool to their exhausted pool. If they do not or cannot, place 2 wound tokens on the Phoenixborn.
Steven's playing the Victoria Glassfire deck. Okay.
That's going to get old.
Real quick.
That was your main action, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Any sides?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. Let's see what the Shadow Spirit's up to. Okay, let's summon a Shadow Spirit. It's going to be a main action. It's going to be in a symbol. And it's going to be a wolf. Put a Shadow Spirit into play. It's the same old Shadow story. If you do damage to it, it goes away. And the life is equal to the number of Shadow Spirits on the spell board.
1.
Oh, Shadow Spirit spells on your spell board, so 1. Okay, cool. I thought it was in play, but it's actually...
Could be 3.
So as that gets juiced up, they become cooler.
Okay, let's spend an action exhaustion. Summon Orchid Dove. I'm a Birdman.
Birdman, he says.
And then I'll pass my side action.
Okay. And the melody says I gotta spend a money to attack. Attack a unit or attack a Phoenixborn, okay. Until I spend a cash. Okay, or I can just attack you directly, which would be sweet.
You have to pay for it.
I do, yes. Tired of these birds, man.
They're gonna keep flying around.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a side action. Can you take a side action and pass the main? Or you have to take a main action to take a side action?
You can do either.
You can do a side action and pass?
Mm-hmm. But of course, if I pass, the round's over.
Yeah, but you have 3 things that haven't gone, so I'm ultimately okay with that.
Well, I've got 5 damage that hasn't gone. You've got 5 damage that hasn't gone.
In my life of life. But these guys die immediately. So they're little shadows. They're nothing. I guess the wolf doesn't matter that much. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do 2 shadows. One of my favorite new wrappers. Choose a target unit, and it has, if it receives damage, destroy it as a side action. And then Shadow Spirit, we're going to pay off. Is this during the action we have to pay it? It's not like a side action. Pay off the Orchid Dove, so now I can attack forever. Shadow Spirit on Beast Tamer. Going to try to do 2 damage. It'll kill it if it takes any damage at all.
I don't like that. We're going to block with Leo, Sun Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Take 2.
Swishertons.
We'll put this here. That was just for the turn, and it's gone.
Okay. Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go Orchid Dove at your Shadow Hound.
Well, that's something. Okay, yep. It's happening. Don't have any unit guard that can prevent it. I will go ahead and swing back. Cause
you could block it if you wanted it.
Yeah. I guess I should, yeah. I'll just take 1.
Seems good, but the Orchid Dove is inexhaustible, so that ability is still in effect.
Mm. Is it for the turn? Yeah, it's just the turn. I've got to pay it off.
Every time you... Ooh, gross.
It's horrible. Done. Pass.
Let's meditate for 1.
Mm-hmm. That's it? And then you pass, so then the turn's
No,
over.
no, I'll take an action, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's swing... with my Nightshade Swallow at...
I love Shawshank Redemption.
Your Shadow Hound. Yeah, it's a good movie. Good flick.
One damage.
What makes a man?
Take it here, yeah.
Lebowski.
Meditate 1. And pass.
Charm him. +1 life, +1 attack.
Interesting.
I don't want to die, Charlie.
Yeah, that's good.
Interesting.
Oh. Let's swing 3 at your Phoenixborn.
You got it.
Yeah.
I'll always take a chance to clean up those tokens. Swing 4 at your Phoenixborn.
You got me.
A little trade there. I'll take it.
Then I'll do... Can I do side action pass, right?
Yeah.
We still say that?
Sure, no.
I'm not going to. I'll just pass.
Yeah, you could use a wolf to downgrade it, but then I just re-roll it.
Yeah.
I'll pass as well. So end of round, remove exhaustion. Recover for anyone that's going to recover.
Yeah, you could have pumped and then attacked, right?
Yeah.
With your thing.
And I think I was first player, right? Or were you? This was
No,
like in the
I was
middle.
first player.
All right.
I played the Flash Archer first.
So you roll dice first, and then you technically go. I got to roll the heart. What are you
rolling the heart? Fool!
Fly, you fools.
Ooh, nothing but wolves today. Throwing rocks tonight. 2, 3. Look at this roll, though. 1 basic? Whew.
It's a good
Get
good
out
beat.
of town.
Volantro asking, what portion of the new rules are you using? I think the only thing
None.
we're doing is the illusion dice.
The new illusion dice, yes.
Which instead of removing a die, you get to turn 2 dice down a face side.
Spin them down,
Spin them down. And then there's one other, wasn't there something else we were doing? One other thing?
The mount rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was only the first turn, Popster. I mean, we've been taking it easy. I mean, that's to be fair.
But usually these games are only 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah.
Because you get to build exactly what you want on that first turn. I'm reading through my cards now. Look at this art on Mind Probe.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. If you were good with Victoria, you would be so good. This is the kind of Phoenixborn that's like, okay. If you really know what you're doing, you really know what you're doing.
You can really dance. All right, I'm going to do Change Psyche. Cost me an action, a basic, and a heart. Remove an exhaustion token from a target unit or place an exhaustion token on a target unit.
Quit.
Your favorite cards. You can't do what you want to do. Because you can just nuke my birds. Oh, and the side action. Let's exhaust, spend a basic.
Hold on, what is that called? Wait, what was that you just played?
Change.
It may get canceled.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. Cancel my cancel.
That targets you, your draw pile, your discard pile, or your Phoenixborn. Okay, no, that doesn't do any of those things. It targets a unit.
Now play Glowfinch.
This is insufferable. It's very beautiful.
It's a sweet agony.
In its awfulness. Okay. Boy, I don't like that. Bob Dole don't need this. There are people that are really good at this game.
Certainly.
Those people ain't me.
I feel you.
You've got that unit guard on that stupid Glowfinch. Attack the Glowfinch.
With a 2?
Yeah.
Let's block it with Leo.
Okay.
Take 2. I like that insurance policy.
Mm-hmm. Side action, let's use the illusion die ability, spin these 2 down.
Down to basic, down to heart.
Yeah. She would have been a disastrous in the old illusion die, because she gets her illusion dice back constantly. Horrible.
Yeah, horrible. Let's exhaust. Spend a heart. Look at this is memory theft. Look at the target player's hand. Discard a card of my choice. If they may discard the card. If they don't, then you take a damage.
I love that ability. I love the way that they did that. Yeah, Stephanus, that makes sense. The way that you build it. Control deck, of course. Yeah.
Vanish.
Okay. Get rid of the cancel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always a good choice, right? Okay, so then you've still got that Glowfinch.
Yeah, this is a Hoth map, by the way. People asking. Got the AT-ATs down there. Looking for them rebels.
Let's summon a Shadow Spirit. Cost me a wolf and an exhaustion. Spirit out. And then let's use a side action to turn those hearts to basics.
Annoying.
Yeah, you can annoy me. I'm going to annoy you right back. Who's laughing now?
Let's go.
Spaghetti.
SpaghettiOs.
I've got a battlefield of 5, so I'm full up right now.
No, you got one more spot.
Victoria doesn't count. So I've got 8 health left.
Yep.
And you've got 7. You got 12 health left.
Mm-hmm.
That's not terrible.
I just gotta figure out how to get past
These
you.
birds have too much text.
It's a lot of text. These particularly.
But I mean, it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
Once you understand them, it's just scary to look at. That's why I try to take them off the field. I remember these glowfinches being around for like the owl stuff, or maybe it was the orchids. I can't remember. It's
a lot
just
of
like,
birds.
What? Quiet.
Let's just focus my memory theft.
That's another one of those. Yeah, take a thing or do a thing.
Continue.
Leave a.
I feel like I'm having to use a lot of brain in this game.
Yeah, so you could very easily do the old memory theft, side action into it, but. So if I have anything I want to play, I better play it.
I mean, you can just take a damage to keep it.
That's true. But damage isn't easy to come by these days.
That is actually, if they're going to do stuff like any number of abilities, I love that. Which is like, your opponent gets the option of taking a damage. Or like if it cancels, if it was like, cancel this target, or your opponent has to take 2 damage or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's way better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you're saying is oof. This is okay. Let's go body inversion here. Cost my main action. Cost me 2 masks, and it says when attaching this spell to a unit that has the illusion ability, which I do, the player that played it may select 2 illusion that are exhausted, place them into your active pool on a side of your choice.
Ugh.
And then we switch attack and life values. So he's now a 5 attack, 3 life unit. And then for my side action, I'll use Victoria here. I'll spend a wolf to bring back 2 dice on the side of my choice.
Yeah, in 1.0 that would be obnoxious.
It'd be horrible. In PE.
Because you can spend dice to remove their dice and then get your dice back. So then you're doing stuff and they're never doing stuff.
Yep.
Fascinating. Let's play another one.
Get out of here. Quit looking at my hand.
I
Luckily, I don't care about these cards. Okay. Shadow Spirit's going to attack Glowfinch.
You have to pay 1.
Doing it. I got dice in different area codes.
You got it.
Take nothing in return. Who's laughing now?
Let's...
What's up, Roy? Yeah, what's going on, Roy? You've been blowing up our Twitter, man. It's been great.
Let's swing at Shadowhound with Beast Tamer. What up?
Okay, so I get it.
Descent saying, any news on the changes to cards and dice for Ashes 1.5 yet?
We don't know much.
You have to stay tuned on that. There'll be a lot coming, though. We'll be doing a lot more streams. Podhat's going to be announcing a lot of stuff, so just stay tuned.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done here, so I'll counter.
You can block with Phoenixborn, technically.
I don't want that. I'm going to do 5 back to you.
Yep.
You're going to do 3 to me.
And
We're all
I'll
going to
disappear.
die. Yeah.
You got it. Now it's just a bird game.
We're back to the birds. And you've got 2 more summons on the board, don't you? Let's play a secret door.
Matt Resner, I popped in to see what was going on and noticed the awesome playmat. I scrubbed back to see if you talked about it and watched the epic champagne pop. Great moment in TC history. Greatest moment in TC history.
Alan, so for memory theft, you have to use the main action every time you trigger it, even if you're stacked. So to use memory theft, exhaust main action, do 1 instance, pass the turn.
Yeah.
Then can do it again, then can do it again.
What's Secret Door do?
So when I play a reaction spell, I get to place an exhaustion on this to draw a card, or I can discard, basically take the reaction spell just played and put it back into my hand.
Wow.
So I can either draw a fresh card or get the spell back.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Man.
I have to discard this to do it, but.
Okay, well, for my next trick.
I'm wide open, but you only got birds. You're just pecking away. 1 attack.
Let's meditate for 1.
Here comes the theft.
And then I'll mind theft. Let me see your hand.
Choose your favorite.
Secret Door. Either get rid of it or take it in.
It's gone.
I have a new win condition.
Didn't like it anyway. You're just starting to mill.
My favorite of all win conditions.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to mill yourself just turning those dice up.
Yeah, I'm with you, Roy. Says, I can't wait to see the changes. Should be awesome. Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Everything Nick's been saying is great.
Shadowhound.
Boo.
3. Coming in. Here we go.
I'm tired of seeing those eyes.
I got nothing but wolves here, man. Yeah, a lot of weird eyes. Just so cool. Just so insane.
Let's attack your Shadowhound with my Nightshade Swallow.
Mm-hmm. Victoria's taking 1.
Take it.
Shadowhound coming in on Leo for 3.
Pay him.
Pay the man.
Pay him. Pay that man his money. I'll block with the Orchid Dove.
Okay. You gonna counter?
Yep.
I got a reaction to that.
I know.
Figures in the Fog. Cost me 3 dice, all 3 of them. You may play this spell when an opponent chooses to counter with a unit they control. Prevent all damage from the attacking unit or units would receive from the countering unit in this battle.
So I just disappear.
You die.
I got doved.
Old Secret Door here says after a reaction spell is played, I can exhaust it to draw a card. I may as well. Nice. That would have been really nice. Okay. Back to you.
Okay.
You got 2 dumb birds still yet to come in. Huh?
Meditate for 1. Changes to a heart.
They will keep the same art style, Chris.
Then summon Orchid Dove. Cost me an exhaustion in that heart. And then I get an Orchid Dove back.
Mm-hmm. Pass.
Okay. Let's meditate for 1. I gotta be careful.
Yeah, dude, you're milling yourself.
And then I will attach an Amplify here for main action and a heart. And it gives plus X life, plus X attack, plus X recover, where X is equal to the number of charm dice on this unit.
And then Respark means you can pay a basic to put it back in your hand, I believe, when it goes away. Yeah. So you're going to keep meditating.
Well, now that you don't have any wolves, I was wanting to do that way earlier.
All right, I'll pass.
Because the real trick is this card, it's obviously, Amplify has the Glowfinch on it. And it's really good with the Glowfinch because the Glowfinch, you can remove an alteration from it to remove the exhaustion tokens from it.
To keep it blocking or whatever. Yeah.
So you can do some stuff. Anyways.
I'm passing over to you. So you can take as many actions as you like. I'm not going to interrupt you.
We're going to meditate for 3. Turn these all to snakes.
But if you do that, if you don't take a main action, the turn ends.
Oh, that's right. So here's what
This is the beautiful thing about Ashes, I think.
Let me think about it.
Projected time frame, Volantrius. So we're print run is starting. Production has begun. Design has been going on for a while, and 1 to 3 months. We'll see. We'll see how quickly it happens.
I will meditate for 3.
4? I don't know.
We'll turn them all to snakes.
Yeah, you may as well, right?
Then I will exhaust. Spend 2 of them for the summon Nightshade Swallow.
Mm-hmm. Not exactly what you wanted, but it's there.
And then your action.
Pass.
Then I will boost. So it's got +1.
So technically 3 damage.
But then it's got +1 because of the upgrade.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah.
Pass.
I'll swing for 4.
Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4. That turns a 1 and 2 a 5. 3 damage remains.
Wooshirtons. All right, then I'll pass.
Okay.
I get it.
There's a weird, like, chess-like reality to this.
Definitely.
It's really more than you expect it to be.
I think once you can see, like, you'll start seeing the moves like you do in chess.
We don't draw yet. We need to roll our dice.
Yeah, you'll see the moves like you do in chess.
Yeah. Your opening.
It's almost how I feel like where we got with Flesh and Blood yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like there's realistically a handful of lanes that you can take, and you just have to know why you're taking whichever lane it is you want. All right, and then this passes to you, so you're the first player. Buyer beware. You have how much health left?
I have 3 health left.
Okay, great.
And then I'll draw my cards.
Ryan says, I've been debating getting in on this ever since you guys brought it back, since last week. I used to play Thrones. Currently you play L5R. What's it about this game that draws you to it the most? There's a handful of things. We covered this a little bit earlier, but ultimately the art and the graphic design is just unlike anything we've ever seen. The theme and the setting is fantastical fantasy, so it's not as like dark magic-y as a lot of these universes, and it's got a lighter vibe with the templating and stuff too. And then the gameplay itself, you start with 10 resources that are your dice. It's a flat resource curve. The boards don't get super wide and complicated. The action is main action plus a side action back and forth for the whole game. So it's got that Destiny vibe. You have dice as resources and it's back and forth. But then it's this kind of unexplored, wide open universe that's got a lighter tone than I think a lot of games do these days. Roy on the number of options saying, maybe for you, LOL, they're right choices. I feel like in this game, a lot more than others, you can really control many aspects of the game, and the better player normally comes out on top.
That's right.
Yeah,
very much.
It removes a lot of randomness in that way for sure.
Okay, how about some of this? Let's take the side action on the, I don't know, you've got that thing that exhausts me. That's really annoying. Oh, no. Let's do Shadow Spirit into Leo.
What exhausts you?
Yeah, it's something that you have, probably.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay 1.
Oh, my gosh. Hold on, I'm going to kill that thing. Side action, Flash Archer on the Orchid Dove for 2. Actually, I only have to do 1, right?
Yep.
Let's do 1 there and then 1 to the Swallow.
Okay. And then I'll spend a basic to get Amplify back.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Courtesy of Regrowth. And the main action, we'll swing at Leo.
How much life does it have?
It has 1 life.
Okay.
Zach only has 9 dice, apparently.
Here.
I was going to say.
I thought I was playing with a heck of a handicap.
Yes.
Let me read my cards really quick, if you don't mind.
I do mind. It's not allowed. You can't play this game reading your cards. What do you expect?
Wow. This guy's annoying. Okay, after you declare an attack, I'll play Remorse. It costs me a heart and a basic. And it says, I play the spell after an opponent takes an attack, a Phoenixborn main action, or attack a unit main action. Deal 2 damage to a target Phoenixborn. The player that controls that Phoenixborn must discard 2 cards off the top of their draw pile. If they cannot, deal 1 additional damage to the target Phoenixborn. So take 2.
Just 2 for attacking?
2 for attacking. Doesn't that feel nice? This is what I'm talking about. This is a reaction spell. So I assume this is the kind of thing where it's like, this is not the back and forth, right?
Fine. It's fine.
And if you think about it, if you only had 2 health left, if I just win the game on that play,
yeah, it's not good.
That's really unfortunate.
I will trigger Secret Door here, another questionable thing to draw a card after a reaction spell is played. And then attack still coming in.
For 2?
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
Take 2. Over to you. Jared, not necessarily removing reaction spells. I think Nick's looking to clean up some of the interactions that get a little too complex, and really kind of trying to put things into that action, side action template. Now, what that means, I don't imagine all reaction spells are going away or changing or anything, but I think we will see more that are kind of fit into that. Could we make this a side action instead? Could we make this a main action instead? Those kinds of things. Yeah, Lobin, the dice feel great in this game, for sure. I don't know how they made it. It's got to be expensive.
Well, it's because the dice only came in the core set, right?
Mm-hmm. And
So-
those deluxe expansions.
Yeah, which is when you could reasonably do that. Let's go Anguish. Cost me 2. Choose a target Phoenixborn. Its controlling player may discard 1 card at random from their hand. If they do not or cannot, place 2 wounds on a Phoenixborn. Then choose a target Phoenixborn. Its controlling player may move 2 dice of your choice from their active pool to their exhausted pool. If they do not or cannot, place 2 wounds on the target Phoenixborn. This one.
Oh my gosh, the Summon Shadowhound, the 1 of 6.
Was that what you wanted?
That was the money move. I needed that to win this game.
Double Shadowhound?
I needed that to win this game. This I will tell you.
Oh, because it has that focus 1
Yeah.
for 1 free damage.
It's pretty important for this Nightshade Swallow, and
I
then to
can
be
see
able to
that.
get 2 hounds out is really pretty important as well, is it not?
Volantra is saying you guys will be keeping Ashes tokens in print, right?
Yeah.
Technically, they're called Arcane tokens, compatible with Ashes. But yes, we have a wait list going. We got the doors blown off of us last week from every direction. So we announced the PDP system with Ashes and bringing it back. Unbelievable how fast we got to the minimum number to get this game back in print. 3 days. And also the Arcane tokens flew out the door, and we're shipping those. We were not, we stocked them heavier than we had been stocking them, but now they're just gone. So we're actively making more of those, and we'll keep doing that as long as demand is reasonable, but I expect that to be for a very long time.
Okay, so I need to not die. I mean, that's really what I'm looking at here.
Also, Jeremy, thanks for catching those 9 dice. You got my back. I owe you one.
Okay, so we'll do 3 to throw a Shadowhound in.
Uh-huh.
I gotta get bodies on the table.
You
here.
gotta have bodies. That's how this goes really bad for
Yeah.
you.
So let's get bodies. I'm gonna put these on my actual card so I have room.
Dude, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get to Constructed.
I know. Yeah, that's when it's gonna open up.
Because
for
like
us.
when I was playing, there were only
Side action.
There
Oh
were-
no, wait, it takes a thing. Never mind.
Oh,
I'll do a 1 meditate. Ah, my archers keep getting meditated away. To a wolf.
but when I was playing, there were only 2 expansions, so there were a lot less cards.
Yeah.
Now seeing all these cards, it's like,
What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Yeah, hell yeah.
How many cards in hand?
I got 5 cards in my hand. You can't have them all. You can memory theft as much as you want, bun.
Let's go, Beast Tamer. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then side action, let's exhaust, spend a resource, and get a Glowfinch.
LOL.
Hopefully you don't see my plan. Corbin's saying I'll need to pick up Arcane tokens and maybe even finally get myself a data token set once they're back in stock. It's amazing that we have token sets that are 7 and 5 years old respectively that are still around, which is fantastic. And I love both those sets.
Good sets. So my battlefield is full, which is a problem.
Alan, asking about card limits on the board. So at least with the spells, when you meditate, you can actually meditate with spells that are on your board, and you discard them to change a die side. So technically, if you're full up and you want to switch something out, you can just meditate to get rid of it.
Oh, look at this.
Picture this.
This is something else. How cool is this? So the pickle I'm in now is you have 4 units to my 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now one of them has 0 attack. So technically, if you swing with all 4, I can block 3 of them, not take the fatal damage, and still be okay.
But you know I can charm that Glowfinch, right?
But I do know that you can charm that Glowfinch.
You have a Wolfie, though. You can downgrade me.
Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side action on Victoria. We're going to use this. We're going to exhaust. We're going to spend 1 wolf to bring 2 wolves back in. And then main action, we're going to actually body invert the Glowfinch, spin 2, and it's going to swap health and life. So it's going to take you to 0 life and 2 attack, which should kill you. You cool with that?
Yep, discard the top card of your deck. Buddy. All right. I see. Mine? Let's keep putting that pressure on. I'm going to summon an Orchid Dove.
Nothing says pressure like the Orchid Dove.
By that tempo pressure. Come on. Give him the bird. Give him the bird.
That's what I mean. I'm not good at this.
I feel like a shirt with Leo on it and then a quote bubble that just says "Give him the bird" would just destroy.
I made a lot of mistakes.
All 14 people that bought that shirt would love it. Was your mistake in losing?
Losing. Yeah, losing was the main mistake. Yeah, that was the one that I didn't want to do.
Oh, man.
All right, let's swing in all on your Phoenixborn. Maybe he won't block. I can't summon a Shadow Spirit because everything's, you know.
You're board full.
I'm board full.
Block here. Block here. I'll leave these 2. You get to choose the order we resolve these in. It's actually cool to see.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Basically, I can block with any units that I want, and so it's 1-to-1. So I'll block those 2, and I'll leave 1 open, and then the attacker gets to choose the order they resolve in.
What's the... He can't attack? Quincy Slayer, what are you talking about? He can't attack?
Oh, you got to pay 1. Because of my dove.
Okay, so now we go to the attacky step, right? And this all happens simultaneously?
Yes, but what doesn't happen simultaneous is each engagement, but not all of the engagements. So like technically if you had something that resolved here that destroyed a unit over here, this wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So like let's say when he's destroyed I can do a damage to someone. If you resolve this first and you destroy him, I can do that damage, and if that takes something off the board, it would prevent it from happening. But you get to choose the order of this happening as the attacker.
I'm hip. I'm hip to it. Okay. So first, are you going to use this diminish ability? Yeah, you don't have the money.
No money. No whammies.
No money. No money. No money.
16 in the middle of Miami.
That's right.
Daniel says, I fell asleep and this game was about ice bears and race. Now it's about birds.
Let's do Shadow Spear is going to resolve 2 damage to your Beast Tamer.
Okay. And I will resolve to do 3 back.
All right, I've got a reaction. Particle Shield. When you control but receive 1 or more damage, prevent 1 damage to that unit, shuffle it into your draw pile. I'm going to do that. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Shadow Spirit is gone. Next.
That was one of the best.
Shadow Hound going after the Nightshade Swallow there.
All right. So I'll take it and I'll deal 1 back to you.
All right. Don't worry. Particle Shield.
That's the one that matters.
And I'll discard Secret Door to get Particle Shield back in my hand.
Seems good. Then your other Shadow Hound actually hits.
Comes right on through. 3 damage.
1, 2, 3.
Then I've got a reaction. Bump it by 6.
Win the game.
And win the game.
All right. And then I dove you.
Yeah, doved on. Yeah. Nothing to be done there. Nothing to be doved.
It's pretty cool. Like the differences in the number of cards, I'm getting more and more excited to see what cards they keep and change and how they change them.
Yeah, 100%. The game feels good every time I play it.
Do you feel...
I feel like by the time that I'm winning or losing, I'm like, oh, I should have definitely planned that.
It's like you're starting to see it, but you're just seeing it a few moments too late.
It's like through a foggy mirror. I guess you can't see through a mirror. That's kind of the entire point.
Like foggy glass, I think is
foggy
what you're
glass
saying.
would be a good.
You can kind of see through it, but not quite.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Phoenixborn so far?
Well, I can't hate Ren, because it's got the water ice thing. Kind of looks
cool.
like my idealized version of me.
He does look like a fantasy version of Steven.
Yeah. If I
and
was
by fantasy, I mean like,
if I was
Lord of the Rings fantasy, not like crush on Steven fantasy.
If I was diving into like my, really, really being my roots, because I think I came from Scotland, Ireland area, right? And this looks like very much like in that spirit.
By the way, fair strategic point coming in from chat. If I hadn't struck back on your units, then my units do whatever, but your battlefield's still full and exhausted. So that's one of the things in Ashes you have to be very careful not to do is like if you fill up your battlefield and exhaust
and
them
then
all,
exhaust it, you're just wide open.
Locked out for that
you're
whole
wide
round,
open.
Which is really good.
Through a mirror darkly. Well done, Jason.
I really like, and I hadn't played her before. Obviously, I think Mayoni and Demona and Lulu are going to be tops for me.
I like that straightforward stuff, man. I don't want all this garbage. This Victoria is way out of my comfort zone.
Well, she's not.
She's dice manipulation and like cycling.
She's not what I would expect you to play. She's what I would expect, like some old Thrones faces, like Josh Slane or like a Tim Rowe.
Yeah, Tim Rowe would be all in the Victoria Glassfire.
I think her name was. I'm trying to remember. I liked the dinosaur stuff. That was cool.
The dino stuff was awesome. Actually, I'm really into that one.
Yeah, he was really cool. But I love Namine.
Mm-hmm. What's Namine do?
Is that Namine?
Yeah, Namine, Himtide.
She was
That's
just
the
cool.
draw one. That
like the water horses
and stuff.
Yeah, and like all that kind of stuff.
I'm probably going to be into her as well. So
and the salamander monks.
Yeah, that's actually the most watery thing in the game. I should really be checking that one out, right?
She's cool.
Or I could put those river scalds in whatever deck that I wanted.
That's the thing. Cool. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like
once she also draws as her side action.
Who?
Fiona Mercy Wind.
Do you have your eye on Fiona?
Well, I'm just saying a lot of those units said when you draw a card, good things happen. You remember that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So she has a side action that draws cards. So she could also run the watery stuff if you wanted to put them in there.
But that's what I'm excited to see because I feel like the combination of because you get to pick the first 5.
Yeah.
So you get to pick your conjurations and units and spells, and then like matching them up with different Phoenixborn and then all the cards that go in it.
And you gotta actually get to plan it.
It's like picture if we walked into Skytear like 2 years into the game. Like that's the amount of content we have.
Yeah.
We have 2 or 3 years of a game that's out, and then they're doing the first thing is the 1.5 kit, which is going to be like 100.
What kit?
100 cards times 3. So that in and of itself is like getting a half a year's worth of releases pumped through.
Yeah, that's a really important point. So if you're new to Ashes, totally new to Ashes, hold on, we'll zoom out for you. Gotta look at the bare nothingness of space. If you're new to Ashes, something that's not really said as much because it's kind of hard to get across in text, is that this upgrade pack represents 30% of the card pool in your hands. So like if you just got a core set and the upgrade pack, like you've got 30% plus the core set worth of cards. Now some of the 30% might be in the core set, so let's say there are 6 cards in the core set that get redone in Ashes Reborn.
And I would imagine, by the way, the core set is the thing that's going to get the least replacement.
Yeah, or the most, depending on where the game went or what it was.
I think it was the least, and again, we'll see, but I think it was the least reaching. It's what happens. We're talking about it in the How to Ruin a Game series on the podcast, but like, it's basically...
It's the most fundamental.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it'll get buffed. So things in the core set that didn't get played, like Noah Red Moon, the Wolves.
Everyone talks about Mayoni being like a little behind the curve. She's a Battlefield of 3. That's really restricting.
Now, you can either pump her Battlefield or you can make the snakes better.
Yep.
Which I would be in the make the snakes better.
I like the idea of giant, ancient silver snakes.
Yeah.
And little gilders.
Honestly, you and I probably would choose the Phoenixborn with the smallest battlefields and just have a fine game. You know what I mean? Like
game.
A fine time.
No cancels, no exhaustions.
No, let's just put them on the board and fight them out, okay? That's all we need to do. Let's just go through. I want to look at all of these Phoenixborn while we're here before we dive out of here.
Yeah, we're going to be getting out of here. But before we do, we're going to look at Phoenixborn. And what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks is we're just going to slowly and enjoyably make our way through all the Phoenixborn.
The enjoyable part is debatable.
Yeah, and some of us are having fun, particularly those of us that are winning. Who won the first game? Did you win the first game? Yeah, see, we both win, and 1-on-1.
I enjoyed it too.
I just remember my victories a lot better. But we're going to be going through all the Phoenixborn as they sit, and then presumably as details come out from Plaid Hat about 1.5 and the rules changes and the cards, we'll start incorporating those on the stream, which I'm excited to do. But we have a lot of content to experience before we even upgrade. And if you're buying in right now, you're going to get 1.0 stuff. So you're literally going to be getting the stuff we're playing with. And so if you have questions and whatnot, it'll be cool to watch.
Carl said, just tuned in after work. What is Zach drinking? So it's actually worth rewinding the stream. It was a comedy of
fiasco,
errors, really. We had a champagne bottle because Ashes funded well beyond our expectations. As we were celebrating with everybody, we cracked the champagne bottle, or more realistically, the champagne bottle cracked itself in an unexpected way. Shenanigans ensued, and then we drank it. But it was a hats off to all of you who were instrumental in funding this game getting back off the ground. It's going to print now. We've got more than enough for the production run. We needed 1,000. We're currently at like 1,250. Keep signing up. The more people that sign up, the more we can print, or Plaid Hat can print, which means the more that can be available for things like international distribution, maybe some Plaid Hat direct distribution. We'll see what happens. But really, just if you can show your support for the game early, it's going to be better. They can invest in organized play. They can invest in all sorts of things that are going to make Ashes better.
Well, and we can invest in content and marketing. But more importantly, it's the problem we've talked about forever with these games, which is when a publisher is hitting print on a game, it's very difficult to know how much to print, because even now knowing exactly how many subscribers we have for Ashes Reborn, they could easily hit print, and print runs take 3-4 months. Mm-hmm. So if they hit print and then a bunch of interest or people sign up after that fact, we can very quickly run out of subscriptions and then not have enough supply, and we're in that classic problem we've seen with so many games where there's not enough for everyone to get what they want. So if you want it, please sign up, get on the list. That lets us inform Plaid Hat way better about how much to print, and it means that people aren't going to be stuck without product when it comes down to release time.
100%. I want to run through these Phoenixborn, man. Let's look at Odette Diamond Crest, because, and I'll tell you this. Now, this card might pop over my head. So let's zoom into the board and just actually look at
Odette. I love Odette. I don't know what she does, but I love the art.
I love Odette because of what she does. When she guards for a unit, right? So when she throws herself in front to save a unit, deal 2 damage to whatever's attacking.
When she blocks?
She blocks. She gives the other thing 2 wounds. It's like a sentry. Love it. Absolutely.
What are her conjurations?
She summons Emperor Lions and Winged Lionesses.
This is a problem for me.
All right, hold on. Well, good problem, I hope. I'll show you. Let's look at, hold on, let's pull this up, because this is going to be outstanding. Look at Emperor Lion.
Can I see? It looks like Aslan.
Is that the Narnia one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's big lion, fantasy lion. Pretty much not a lot to pull from there. And then let's look at Winged Lioness. This unit cannot be guarded against, so you cannot send a Phoenixborn in front of the Winged Lioness. It can go take whatever unit it would like.
Dude, first, Emperor Lion gives all your other units an extra recover.
Nice.
And also, when he deals damage to a Phoenixborn, he deals +1 damage.
Ooh, yeah, spite.
And then the Winged Lioness, look how great she looks.
Just so good.
See, that's the graphic design here, where they're basically flexing how much text box space to put based on the art and how much text is actually on there.
Yeah, they go up, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like less text, let's have a piece of art that actually looks better when you're seeing it, and you'll see the wings coming up over the box up top.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like, how are they better than everybody at this?
And this is 2015.
How are they better than everybody at this? I don't understand.
Beautiful.
How about also this Holy Knight? Yeah, that'll get you somewhere.
Oh my goodness, look at that armor. I love it.
Cannot be affected by all the shenanigans that people want to do.
5 attack.
5/3/2. This is the scout of Ashes Rise of the Phoenixborn.
Jiminy Christmas.
All right, so that one's done. That one looks good.
There's some questions.
Odette,
questions
huge.
coming in worth answering,
Okay.
or people saying. Let me find it. Hold on. Quincy Slayer saying, I'm signing up.
Talking about that right now. Well, we would love to.
I'm signing up next week. Need another paycheck. Just bought a bunch of first ads. So the beautiful thing about this subscription system is you don't pay anything. So sign up's free.
$0.
It'll be
month
months
or so.
Before you actually get charged. You'll get charged a couple weeks before it's actually shipping. Print times are at least 3 months. So you have some time. If you want to go ahead and get on that list, you can do it. Don't have to worry about paying anything until a while from now. Andrew's saying somebody make Zach that shirt. I'm not going to disagree. Hold on. And there's another question I'm trying to find. It disappeared on me.
Yeah, Valantru, new course had a copy of Demona and 3 Reborn Knights. Demona is like a promotional promo. It's a promo card.
Primo.
It's kind of it was a little thing that was attached to the core set for a while. I didn't know it was still going on, but it's kind of just an exclusive little Phoenixborn. Very cool. 3/3 Reborn Knights.
Yeah, I have no idea how I got Demona, but I have her.
Yeah, we've got her.
Todd wants to know, can you speak to the difference between a player-driven model versus Kickstarter?
Yeah.
So there's a handful of things, right? So Kickstarter is a platform that is really good. It's a pretty good marketing platform. It lets you basically build a community, fundraise, have updates. There's a system for all that. But the first thing is that obviously Kickstarter is just a platform that you, kind of like a Facebook account, you sign up for and you can launch projects onto. But as a platform, that's pretty much what they're doing. Like they're just giving you.
They're taking a cut, 10%, I think.
Yeah, they're just giving you
10%?
that system, and that's really it. The other big difference is that a Kickstarter is a one-shot experience. So if you want to do, like if Ashes wanted to relaunch the upgrade kit, they launch a Kickstarter. They might have stretch goals. You might have upgrades where you can get the first couple expansions to do your thing. But then pretty much every time Plaid Hat wanted to release new expansions for Ashes, they would have to literally set up a new Kickstarter, create the promotional materials, create the videos, add the project, update it. It's this whole thing that has to happen. And then literally every time they want to release stuff, you would have to keep doing that. So that's why a lot of times what you'll see on Kickstarter are like board games that are one and done kind of products, or board game expansions that only come out once every couple of years. So you do Gloomhaven,
big expansions,
and then you're going to do a big Gloomhaven expansion with exclusives and whatnot. But if you're wanting to have an expandable game that just keeps coming out and can actually support local communities and people getting together to play on a regular basis and content continually coming out, it's just not like you don't see a lot of expandable games going through Kickstarter unless, like Simon does this a lot. They'll kickstart the starter product, and they have that Marvel board game, Marvel Unlimited, or I think is what it's called. I don't know if there's going to be expansions or not, but like Song of Ice and Fire was kickstarted up front, and then they went into the standard model. So yeah, there's definitely some similarities in that you can basically gauge support before.
We also don't take any money up front.
Yep.
There's no pledge money. It's not like a pre-order, so you're literally just signing up. It's $0, just showing your interest. And then when the product actually is ready is when you get charged, not at the end of the Kickstarter. So that's a big difference too. But like Zach's saying, it's for expandable games. I mean, if you're going to release a small expansion every 3 months, that's never worth going to Kickstarter.
Yeah, and then the other part is obviously twofold. One is that if you are releasing all this stuff, we're handling everything. So like all the shipping to the customers, all the customer service, if your package gets lost or if something's wrong with your shipment or your product gets damaged. So the combination of the ability to, basically do all the stuff that we do, whether it's content and the subscription platform and the service of all those orders, it's way streamlined for that very thing, which is what makes it kind of a unique and interesting pairing for me.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that Plaid Hat we communicate our subscription numbers at any time to Plaid Hat. So like with a Kickstarter, you launch it, you do it, okay, you send it out. 2 months later, how many people are interested in the next thing that you're going to do? It's like you don't know that until you go through all the trouble to launch it.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's like, okay, well, let's say we had 1,500 people. We launched it. We got them the upgrade pack. 1,500 people were very happy with that. And then check in 2 months later, we got 1,400. And Plaid's like, okay, well, then we'll take the next thing to print. We'll serve 1,400 copies of that, and then we'll go to the next one. Or it could be we have 2,500 people now because this went really well. So they now know to way amplify their demand, and they can project their business plan based on those expectations. Kickstarter, you don't know until you get there.
Yeah,
right?
And then when you get there, you've put a ton of work into the launch and the announcement. And a lot of times, if you're going to have stretch goals and whatnot, that all has to be ready.
And I just
you can't just spring
it's all just
to that.
Convoluted,
right? Like it's not like you launch Kickstarter, you hit your goal, and then you're like, oh, now we need to figure out a stretch goal.
Right.
Like they've worked that out in the beforehand. So it's just a lot less risk too. Exactly what you're saying. And then you mentioned it, but again, the reality that customers don't have to pay anything until a week or two beforehand. It's just way safer for a customer, and it's way easier because if you're locked into whatever game is and they're kickstarting every 6 months, you literally have to go to every Kickstarter
Yeah.
Pick your thing. And if there's a limited, like there's a higher, a lot of times it's like there's a limited number of spots on each level, and it's like you have to get in there quick and do it. And so there's just a ton of little nuanced differences.
It's simplification is all it is. That's
streamline.
all we try to do all the time. Streamline, simplify, right? Do you want the game? Subscribe. You'll keep getting it until you stop subscribing. That's it.
End of the story.
Everybody's happy with it.
Stefano's saying, is Breaker of Fate coming with the upgrade kit? So Breaker of Fate's the deluxe, right? The time, I think it's the time expansion. Yeah. So the
upgrade kit is only current expansions.
The release order is upgrade kit, which is going to come with a bunch of cards that replace stuff from 1.0. Then the second thing is going to be a deluxe with a time dice and a deck and a box. And then the third thing is going to be the more standard process after that, which is just going to be 2 new. I'm saying it now.
Oh my gosh, he's telling it.
We've said this before.
He's saying it already.
2 new Phoenixborn, just like expansions. So like these are 2 different expansions you can see that were released, and so you'll just get 2 new expansions every quarter after that, and for as long as there's at least 1,000 people signed up, which is probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah, if it's like only 800 people want it, then it's like, okay, well, it's not worth making. Moving on.
And it's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
But like if interest comes back at some point, and if eventually it's not there for long enough, then you just get rid of it completely.
Yeah.
But
you at least find that out before you print.
Yeah.
Right, which is really nice.
Well, and it's also that situation where like I think a lot of times publishers who have games that go away take a lot of heat from the player base for what they could do different or what they could do better or what happened and why is my favorite game going away, and it's just a bad situation. But in this case, right, it's really just the players are kind of in the driver's seat a little bit.
Yeah, you guys are in charge.
If you're signed up and you like what they're doing, it's going to keep happening. And so like if it stops happening, you know exactly why, which is there's not enough people buying it. And I think that's the obvious implication when a game goes away, but like it's just way more direct.
Because the other thing is, like, LCGs sometimes are 6 packs ahead. Like they'll print 6 at once. So like if you hit that first pack, if you're like FFG for instance, and that first pack of let's say Conquest or whatever, sales are like below the threshold, and you're like, oh no, the game is going down. You've got 5 packs remaining that you just kind of like put out every month, and then at the end of it, you're like, wow, that was a terrible bet. Whereas instead, if you could just be like, all right, we're gonna go print this expansion. Do we have enough? Yes. Charge them. Send it to them. Okay, good. We know that that's going to work. So then we come in. It's about time to print the next one. Do we have enough subscribers? No. All right, we won't print it. The end.
Yeah.
It's like it's that simple. It's better for everybody. It seems like it's better for everybody.
Ben Puffer says, "Congrats on the project, guys. Up next, go get Netrunner."
Oh, we'd love it, man.
Andrew says, "Wizards would never give up the rights." Yeah. Hey, if you're out there and you're from Wizards, hit us up. We'll make it happen.
Let's do it. I'll bet you we could get Netrunner going for sure. Let's look at Echo Greystorm here. Let's just run through the Phoenixborn and get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the
Echo Greystorm, fantastic Phoenixborn. The art, the imagery here is phenomenal. Has an ability increase gravity. I love this. When 1 or more exhaustion tokens are placed on a target unit, spend a basic, place an additional 1.
You can double exhaust.
Double exhaust.
That's
so he's locking the board down. Yep.
Okay. Next, we get Herald Westraven. He looks like my kind of cat. Battlefield 5, 21 health, Spellboard 2, Mark Prey, side action, exhaust, 1 resource. Attach a Hunter's Mark conjured alteration spell to a target unit. So I assume he's going to be marking units and then hunting them down.
Oh, like a little Sky Terror moment there. I'll pass on that one for a second. Astria here. Battlefield 5, Spellboard 4, Beguile. When a player would declare attackers, you may place 1 exhaustion token on this card to exhaust an unexhausted unit you control. If you do, place 1 exhaustion token on a target unit. So this is fascinating. They attack you, you exhaust Astria, you exhaust one of your units to immediately exhaust one of their units.
Huh. Even the attacking unit?
Yes. Before they declare their attack, right as they're declaring their attackers.
I feel like that's going to be frustrating to get past. Next, we have Ramia Careworn. Got some fish, like spiritual fish floating around. Battlefield 4, 20 health, Spellboard 5, Visions, side action. Look at the top 3 cards of a target, draw a pile. You can spend a resource and place an exhaustion token on this card. So she doesn't exhaust to do it. To look
so you
at the
can
top
always
3.
Look for free.
Yeah. But you can spend 1, place an exhaustion here to place one of those cards on the bottom of that draw pile. Place the remaining looked at cards on top of the draw pile in the order of your choice.
I already know what kind of person plays that.
So you filter your own deck to whatever it is you want. You can set up your end game how you want it. You can set up your draws how you want it.
You can mess with their deck too, right? Presumably.
Yeah, and if you have anything that like triggers off of top of deck, like reveal the top card of your deck, do this.
I'll bet her deck does that.
Yeah.
If I was guessing. James Intersight says Battlefield 7 things. You probably got little ghosts. Spellboard of only 3. Convene with Souls. Side action. Search your draw pile for an ally. Reveal it. Place it into your hand. Place a number of wound tokens equal to the ally's life value on this card. Shuffle your draw pile. So you search your draw pile for an ally, place it into your hand, and then damage James equal to the amount.
So he's like the ceremonial dice, but from deck.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
That's right.
Symboli Grimtongue, Battlefield 5, Health 19, Spellboard 3. She looks fantastic. Ban Manifestation. When a unit you control leaves play, you can discard a card from your hand and place an exhaustion token on this card to choose a target conjuration an opponent owns. So from your conjuration pile next. That opponent must remove that conjuration from the game.
What?
Or remove all copies of that conjuration in their conjuration pile from the game.
What? So either they remove the one from the board from the game, or they remove everything in their conjuration pile from the game. That's unbelievable. How does this work? When something you control leaves play, you discard a card from your hand, exhaust this card, choose a conjuration an opponent owns, remove it from the game, or remove all copies from the game from their pile. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's like
she's going to literally exhaust your conjuration pile. That's crazy.
Just get it where you can't cast anything.
Mm-hmm.
So like strong ally decks will get you there. I'll take Koji. Let's look at Koji Wolf Cub here. 16 health. Battlefield of 10?
What?
Battlefield of 10.
Say it again.
Has a Battlefield of 10.
10? Get the champagne back in here.
Accelerate growth. Side action. Place a status token on a target card. Beautiful.
By the way, Grant says, if you didn't know, Symbol's ability, Symboli, was voted on by the community. That's how we got there.
What kind of community removes conjurations from the game? What are you guys thinking?
All right, next we have Fiona Mercywind. So if you look at her card up top, she has a little looks like a lightning bug that's floating over the template. You know,
yep.
That little touch where it's like not extreme, but like just a little bit to remind you that what's actually happening is the art, not the boxes. Next level. Anyways,
I don't know how they're so much better than everyone else who's been doing this at printing cards.
You know why? Can I tell you the answer?
Because they didn't pay attention to what was being done.
They didn't So
they didn't ask how it's normally done. They said, I want it to look like this.
And they were also making art.
Yeah.
Game design, the graphic design from Dave Richer, the game from Isaac.
They cared.
Fernanda doing the art. It was literally, the whole thing is art.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily great for systems and balance and all that kind of stuff, which is why Nick is super important.
Yeah.
He was a balanced systems guy.
Yeah.
But all that said, it's like they're just making art. Anyways, Battlefield 6, 15 health, that's low. Spellboard 5, Ingenuity, side action, exhaust, discard a card. Draw one card or remove an exhaustion token from a ready spell you control.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You can cast another thing. And then finally, Jericho Kill, which is actually being rotated out. This is not going to be legal moving forward because Jericho won the last Big Ashes tournament.
Apparently Jericho's crazy.
And there's some lore things, and so Jericho's coming back in a new form.
She's ascending.
In an
so the
expansion.
theme here, right, is that all these Phoenixborn...
So don't buy this one, probably. Path of Assassins, or maybe some of...
It's out of stock. You can't buy it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Joke's on you. So the lore is that these Phoenixborn are hunting each other down because it's basically if you defeat a Phoenixborn, you absorb their powers. So they're trying to be the last Phoenixborn standing to create a new world order kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
And some of the Phoenixborn don't really want that mantle, but they're Phoenixborn, so you got to do what you got to do.
Like the Tom Bombadils of the world.
Yeah.
Battlefield 9, Spellboard 4 has 2 abilities. Build Magic. At the beginning of each prepare phase, you may place one card from your hand face down under this card. Now that happens before your draw step. So you can place a card down from your previous hand and then draw a fresh hand.
Okay, I like what I'm
Retool
hearing.
Magic as a side action. Discard a face down card from under. If you do, deal the damage to a target unit or remove a wound from this card. Can heal herself or can deal a wound.
Healing is something you got to be careful about.
Healing can be good.
Healing can be
a
too
little
much.
too good. Now the only way, unless there's things in the deck, the only way once per turn you can put a card under and then heal for 1. That seems reasonable. But if there's cards in the deck that put cards under, now we got ourselves an issue.
Anything that heals always...
Oh, Andrew, that makes sense. So she didn't actually win. The winner of the tournament decided that Jericho won the war. It was a story-based decision, a la L5R.
See, they're doing it all.
They were onto some stuff, guys.
And apparently she's on the teaser for the Breaker of Fate. So she comes back as
She is coming back, yes. Yeah. She is coming back. But very I wouldn't buy that pack right now.
Very cool.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us today, everybody. I hope it was fun. It was a very exciting and bizarre, not really bizarre, just wild stream. The champagne
it was next
uncorking
level.
Itself really set the tone.
Honestly, it was as wild as the fact that there were enough people sign up for Ashes in 3 days for us to bring this thing back. So serious props to Plaid Hat for allowing us to do this, and for everyone out there who subscribed for making it happen. I'm super pumped for the future of this game, and we're super excited. So grab a subscription. If you want the Arcane tokens, hop on that wait list. Just like the subscriptions let us know about supply, the wait list helps us decide how much to make. And we're excited. We'll be back. I think next week is going to be Ashes Wednesday again, and we'll keep that going for a little bit.
Did you do Ash Wednesday on purpose?
No, but then after last week, someone mentioned it's because I said we're going to stream Ashes on Wednesday. I'm like, oh, it's Ashes Wednesday. Yeah. And it's like, oh, like Ash Wednesday, ha. And it's like, yeah, we have to keep that going. Hashtag Ashes Wednesday.
Let's go. What could be more fun than constant Ash Wednesdays? Weird.
Sounds like a good time.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. We'll catch you on any number of things, stream-wise or Ashes only next Wednesday. Take care.